Fuck. Shit, cock. Oh.
Did we do it?
No, my hyperlink didn't work.
Did you guys hear that part?
Are we live?
Did you?
Yes, we're live!
I don't know.
Are you unsure?
Harold bonked the cam.
Yep. That camera got real bonked.
Oh my
He doesn't know how
god.
to cone.
Dumb.
He's not.
Eric's slightly out of frame
I just
now.
won't be on this. It's fine.
Check out this side of the table. It's great.
Harold's fucking losing it.
It's ruined.
So there is if you don't know, Harold is a tiny little man who lives in the studio.
He's a gnome, actually. Harold the gnome.
Yeah.
He's more dwarvish to me, I think.
Yeah. Look at that face.
Let's map D&D dog breeds to D&D races.
Let's do that, yeah.
It's
Hey,
called
good evening, everyone.
Pugmire.
I'm Tom Lommel. I'm your host this evening,
Yeah, right.
as almost every evening, with one notable exception, for the Ironkeep Chronicles, everyone. Welcome to our Dungeons & Dragons 5e game that we have every week. I've assembled an all-star cast here to join me for an evening of intrigue and adventure, starting with Mr. Mostly Shit himself, Eric Reichert.
Wait,
Hey.
Mr. Mostly shit himself.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, how on
I didn't do
topic.
it.
Yeah,
I just mostly did it.
I mostly did it, like 75%.
Yeah, like it's a short. It's not a full shit. Hey
Share that
guys,
story.
Eric Reichert here, playing Grayson Hale, human paladin of Torum as far as everyone else is concerned. Totally human.
100% human.
Yeah, and just human from Human Town, and chainmail's heavy. In case you were wondering.
That's legit chainmail.
is.
Yeah, stainless steel, baby.
Legit.
Oh,
Nobody
really? Is
can
it steel?
stand
It's not aluminum?
No, it's straight up steel.
Do you move the camera again?
Yeah.
What?
And just so he could stare at a trash can.
What's up over here?
Fucking weird.
What's all this about now?
Why did you pick the one picture where I'm not flipping?
Yeah,
everybody?
he's actually framing it up. He's our DP now.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Here, I'll take a picture.
So yeah, I bought chainmail and I wore it, and it was
Errol.
in my backpack. It was
Errol.
very heavy, and now I'm wearing it. It doesn't feel so bad, but as soon as I stand up, I realize how heavy it is.
Sitting is great. Sit.
Oh my
sit,
god, that's
sit,
an
sit.
incredibly adorable picture. Also, he
Aww.
licked his face.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's his
I will
thing.
tweet that out for everyone.
His
All right.
nose is dry.
Hey, speaking of people with dry noses, I'm not good at transitions tonight.
Ooh, personal. Me?
Oh, Grav Galati is here. Yeah. What's wrong? What's up with your coke habit, Grav? What's that all about?
Did you say my coke habit?
Yeah. Totally like
Tom,
a snorty drug user. Right?
come on.
You do go to
thought we had
Vegas a
something in-
lot.
I thought we had something in common.
I love Las Vegas and cocaine. Speaking of Las Vegas and cocaine, here's Havana. Back to you.
Dude, fucking Harold is fucking tearing shit up.
Yes. Go Bonks.
He's over here putting his cone in my bag and the water bottles and the Sprite box. You're on one, dude. Oh, there's a good boy. Havana Mahoney here. Reporting for duty.
I love it whenever you drop into like 50s radio broadcaster mode.
Do I do that a lot?
Yes.
Havana Mahoney here with the latest news and the stuff and the things. No, hi. I'm playing Avril Birdsong, Rogue Extraordinaire. Oh, I can't.
He's a wrecking machine.
I think if we didn't have the cone on, this would not be happening.
He thinks he has enough clearance, but he has 3 inches of more than he thinks he has.
He's so handsome, I can't. This is like if like fucking, who's cute? Shia LaBeouf? No, he's not
What the
cute.
hell?
Not anymore.
He's crazy.
Who's
The
cute?
kid
Harry
from-
Styles.
Yeah.
This is like if Harry Styles was wandering around with a box on his head and just bumping into our cameras. That's how handsome Harold is.
There was that. They cut it out of the new Spider-Man where he did get trapped in a box and he was just knocking things over. It's in the DVD.
I love extras. But yeah, speaking of extra, fucking Galati, everybody.
Wow.
Look at a F-bomb in front of my name.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Garav. This camera's super off. Here's a 3-shot of my 3 favorite people. Fuck you, Eric and Tom.
Yeah.
Screw you.
How do we get an Eric and Tom cam going?
I don't want my shoulder in there at all. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want it either. Hi, I'm Garav. I'm playing Thon of the Wood, who is a ranger slash ranger. He's just a ranger, I guess. He's not. He doesn't subclass in anything else. Or I guess he does subclass.
He subclasses in not having a soul.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he's, well.
I mean, I got one now.
Partial.
Yeah, he's got one soul.
That's his?
Well, I mean, it's stored in something that he owns.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Listen, just because I've got a jar full of jelly beans doesn't mean I'm going to eat the jelly beans.
Yeah, I'm not gonna eat the soul either. My sword did.
No, in this scenario, the sword's the jelly bean jar.
And that sword is nowhere near a jelly bean jar.
Hey, I gotta tell you.
How many jelly beans are in you, Jesse Ventura, the jelly bean jar?
More than 500, less than 3,000.
That's not very
Not
helpful.
enough.
Not enough. I need more.
Not enough.
Can't wait for your sword to start.
For those
talking about government
who want to know
conspiracies.
what's going on, we
don't know.
Nobody knows.
Everybody's a little punchy tonight.
Speaking of jelly beans,
Speaking of jelly beans.
Yay! Sweet as a jelly bean.
did you introduce your character at all?
Yeah, I said I'm Thon of the Wood, ranger.
That's all you need.
If you had to put a flavor of jelly bean to Megan's costume tonight, what flavor would you pick? Eric.
The ocean.
That's
Ocean flavor?
Salt. It's just salt.
salt.
Salt water.
For some reason, I keep seeing. I see green, but because of my
Is this a
dyslexia,
psychic
I'm
reading?
thinking tangerine for some reason.
Tangerine. All right. There's no
I like
wrong
it.
answer. Havana.
I had the best
let
answer
me
to this.
peek into the veil. It's definitely like water.
Water flavored jelly bean.
Straight up water.
Okay.
Wrong.
Best
If
kind
you can
jelly
guess
bean.
tangerine, I guess you're allowed to guess water. We've got. Graf, bring it home for us.
Easy.
Also, I'm drinking That's where that came from.
You just look down.
I like
It's
how you
like,
blamed
tangerine.
dyslexia and not just like a relational
why do-
brain.
Why do I have
identity.
tangerine flavor in my? Oh, because I'm drinking a tangerine.
I think her outfit is buttermilk crispy tenders flavor.
I think
No.
it's to Kate.
It's easy. The flavor is cotton candy.
Yeah, that's the one that
Cotton
came to
candy's
me after
pink.
I
You're
said it.
wrong.
The cotton candy's blue also.
What's
You're
the what's the 7-Eleven Slurpee? What's the blue one? That's that same
It's like
color?
Arctic breeze.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It's like
Arctic
yeah, they have
breeze
like
jelly.
blue
Not real
raspberry and blue cherry and stuff.
Yep, something sizzle. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. You can weigh in with a flavor
cherry.
if you so choose.
Although I was gonna say watermelon.
Watermelon.
Yeah, you know, it's either green, pink, or blue. I always feel
That's
like
true.
they have all these different variety of
Well, what I
colors
like
for
about the
watermelon.
watermelon, it's green on the outside and red on the inside, like a watermelon.
Like a person.
Like a human, yeah. All right.
Megan and I are both very wrong.
Oh no, we're so right.
I mean,
People are blue.
correct. Wait, people are green. Why do you think
And green.
watermelons are blue?
What's happening?
What is happening? People
good
are
question.
green, watermelons are green.
Normally,
Watermelons are
I
blue.
think we get most of this out like before the show starts, but we all kind of came burning in here at like 7:45 and had no idea what was going on.
And then there was a dog.
And then there was a dog.
Harold's fault. Harold!
Stop
Harold
saying
the
his name.
camera op.
He's gonna come over.
Okay.
He's gonna come over and wreck
Harold, I
stuff.
love you.
I tweeted a picture if you want to see what Harold looks like.
You should.
God, I just want a full photo shoot. I want a fucking glam.
That's what we're doing after this.
You
Am I invited?
this close to Luigi coming to the studio tonight, and can you picture
The
Luigi
double dog.
and Harold side by side? Luigi
I
is
think they would
literally
ignore
like this
each other,
tall.
though, right?
He just
And
wraps
then
around
Harold
him
is just
like
like
a snake
this.
pillow.
Yeah.
What's a snake
Thank you,
pillow?
Estelle.
Thank
Just
you.
give it up.
Estelle.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
capitalize.
Estelle
Estelle,
Castillo.
thank you.
Beast Be Cared gives Eric inspiration
Whoa!
for his awesome chainmail shirt. Hey everybody, I have those things over here.
so perfect.
As you may have noticed, there are ways for you to tip in and contribute to our show, the maintenance of our studio, all of our various expenses that we incur to bring you fine evenings of role-playing entertainment. There's a couple things that you can do. You can give our players inspiration, either as an individual or as the party. You can chip in for bumps, which give the players +1 on their D20 rolls. You can trigger a flashback. You can trigger a thing called I Know a Guy. Those are rewards that are available to you. If you do, exclamation
God.
point. Exclamation point tips or tip jar. It'll take you to the tip jar and it'll show you. And along the way, as we build up our tips in the tip jar, various game-changing things are unlocked. One of which I spent a little bit of time putting together today, which is why I was late. So, if you want to make the players nervous, just keep, just boost that thing a little bit, until Dom says,
I don't know fear anymore, so this won't work.
Yeah,
So
and we don't have
Dom
Amy
says-
to go, wait, what are they donating for? Tell us.
Then I'll do it.
okay.
I fucking just said I don't know fear anymore.
All right, fair enough. So, Estelle Castillo gives the party inspiration
Yay!
and a resub reroll to Eric for
Yeah!
the chainmail.
Wow!
Thank you,
I should have worn
That's
chainmail.
yours.
Yeah.
You made a mistake.
I fucked up.
Yeah,
Just remember, you have double inspiration.
yeah, dude.
Turn
we
it
need to
upside
get
down.
you a new Funko. I apologize for that.
That's all good. I look very similar to this.
Yeah.
I mean,
You see it?
Cotton candy.
you both look like cotton
Tangerine.
candy.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
The water.
Yep.
Was there anything else that we need
Delicious
to
flavor.
take care of at the top of the show? Thank you, A Different Canuck, for your sub up. My sincere condolences to you on the loss of your national poet, king, hero of Gord Downey passed away from the tragically hip. If you're not Canadian, it may not mean much to you, but my wife is Canadian, and it certainly has impacted our day and life. So it's a bummer times, but I will just say, as an actor and performer, I didn't know a lot about the hip until I saw their farewell concert, and that guy was just to the wall, and a performer, an amazing voice, principled person who I wish we had more people like him in the U.S. So there you go. I know it's a tough day for those Canadians out there. My condolences to you all. All right, so that aside, who would like to recap? Give us a little brief recap, catch everybody up on what happened last session. What were the major events, major highlights?
All right.
Well, Avro
right.
took a giant pearl and threw it into the ocean, and then Megan's character was born.
Ava showed up.
My daughter.
Wow, there was, I will say, there was sort of this vibe of like, she's like a child. I feel like we need to adopt her kind of thing, right?
I was like, we can't.
Yeah, you were anti doing that. It's mine, but no.
We just had our honeymoon. We're not adopting a child.
Leave her in the alley in a dumpster.
Aw.
That sort of thing.
But we
She
did
would have a good time there.
Yeah.
She would have a great time.
Maybe, but we didn't. We didn't do that.
She would have a great time.
Yeah. So after that, we all went and got food and ate
Oh my
everything.
god, it was so
We did.
And got drunk.
I forgot about that.
Got drunk.
Except for the chowder.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
could put that
She
back.
doesn't like
But we
fish.
got the wine.
You know what? I wanted to clarify that. And I mean, I guess we could leave it open to further discovery, but I was curious what Ava's protest was about the clam chowder soup. What exactly about it was
Well,
offensive to you?
At first, I thought, oh, she probably won't eat fish. But I was like, we've probably already eaten fish. So I literally just made it that she disliked it.
Oh,
It was
okay.
gross.
All right.
Ah.
I thought, being a creature from the ocean, it was offensive to her that the fish had been cooked and prepared. The only way to eat fish is raw. That's how you eat fish.
That
I don't
makes
know.
sense.
No, just put that out there.
She thought it was gross.
Yes, so we did have a food montage.
We did.
And then a drunken shopping montage.
We did.
God, what a fun week we had.
That was really cool.
Then we all went to see a play.
Oh my god, we should do this in real life.
Is he Hamilton?
Then we all
Get drunk, go see Hamilton.
and then we all did karaoke, but that was in real life.
Yeah. Also true.
Also happening on Friday.
Yes. So at the play, you had been told there was a lot of excitement in the air, that this was a big deal. It was hard to get tickets to this thing. Some of the leading actors in town were going to be performing, and the highlight of the evening, you gathered from the hustle and bustle and rumors around you, was that there was going to be this fantastic sword fight duel that took place, that they had apparently been training for weeks to perform. And before they could really get the duel started, one of the actors drank some poison and collapsed on the stage, and then a riot broke out in the theater. largely instigated by some sort of mysterious mage and several thugs who were helping him kind of work up the crowd. And through some canny use of his paladin abilities and also some of your own combat and or other prowess, you managed to cure the lead actor as well as quell the riot. So that happened.
I went in all
three of
iron
you
fist.
sort of snuck out the back when the city watch showed up. You dragged one of the thugs back to your room at the inn and questioned him, I guess, a little bit, but mostly just fed his soul into Black Razor.
He was very open. He's like, I'll tell you everything you want to know. And then Grog said, good. And then stole his soul from his body with his magical evil sword.
I lost a roll. I rolled and I didn't pass, so I had to do it. That's how that
Don't blame it
works.
on the dice.
Yeah.
I didn't. I did.
Don't
yeah.
blame it on the dad.
I need this sword for my dad, okay? Just 6 more months, it'll be all right. I'll get rid of it. I'll pawn it off.
Noted.
Pawn shop.
Sure, it'll be easy to get let go of. Actually, it probably will be really easy to let go of. How much will you miss it is a different question.
Yeah, withdrawals.
So
That sword is going to be like, hey, I tell you what, why don't I find somebody who's a little less principled?
There you go. There you go.
what's happening?
Dave Flegel,
Tom?
thank you for the
How your
20.
mic is, because you sound really quiet.
Oh, yeah, it's like
Oh,
tucked
it's
in behind
tucked
a
under your-
collar.
yeah.
I can't look down there very
It's
well.
also not facing out.
I
A
can't see
whole
it.
new world.
So we got this chainmail.
How does that apply?
It's specifically designed to be holding.
Tom's rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read that
Perfect.
at the Amazon description. Thank you.
The bar,
Thank
thank you
you,
for the
David.
10, and
All
David,
right.
thank you for the 20.
So
thank
the
you.
Bard 1971
David, Bard, thank you.
gives the table a bump.
First bump of the night, baby.
A one.
Bump,
Oh,
bump.
now we're out of them.
All
No
gone.
more bumps.
No more.
bumps.
All right, so that's
Thank
one
you.
for everybody. Also, a different Canuck gives their sub reroll to Havana.
Yay! Thank you.
Who
Someone
needs
who's
it the
definitely
most?
not RJ. Definitely not.
Very good. So that takes care of your end of the recap. But then you were approached by Cyrus Stonearm, yes, to investigate.
The leader of the troupe of actors or the theater asked me.
Yeah,
to,
he's the director of the theater.
He asked me to investigate the attack and also the poisoning on the main actor. I did some cursory investigation and found that the poison that was used was actually a 2-stage poison. It wasn't just the wine that he drank, but also possibly like a powder in the cup that reacted to the wine once it was poured.
Yes, exactly correct. Exactly correct. All right. David Flegel gives the table 2 bumps.
Yay!
Thank you.
Very good. Ooh, that was a good throw.
Depth
I thought.
perception is not my strong suit.
Thank you.
I kind of flung it over there. All right. So that is where we're at. You go home for the night, I assume.
Sure. I was shot with a crossbow, so yes, I could use some rest.
Yeah.
That's true.
Me too.
Yeah. The person who shot you with the crossbow is now in your fireplace.
Oh, I forgot we did that.
Just the desiccated corpse he
Yeah.
left behind.
It was a husk.
You won't
It was
notice.
a husk.
Yeah.
You won't
It was
notice.
just tinder at that.
Yeah.
point.
Turned into basically like a
Kindling.
wasp's nest of a person that
Yeah.
you just sort of shaved down into bits and put in the fireplace.
No guts, no problem. That's our new motto.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's always been my motto.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you go back. I don't know if you want to talk to the rest of them about what you've been hired to do
Sure.
or whatever.
You agreed to make us do what?
I don't really care about it, but he mentioned payment. I figured that would perk your interest.
How much payment?
That's to be discussed. I would leave that to you because I'm sure I would say something that is much lower than you would expect.
More pearls?
Probably not. Probably coin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the fact that because now Grayson is open that Grayson's a doppelganger, he's like, I'm not good at human stuff, so I'm not going to pretend to be good at it.
That was more of a paladin thing. That wasn't a doppelganger thing. That was just like
Sure.
I don't consider this to be a thing. I don't do this for monetary gain. That's what this is.
It works on both levels, is what I'm saying.
Doppelgangers understand money.
Yeah.
Not that I would know, because I'm a fully-fledged human.
That's what humans say.
Okay. What do we do about the guards who are looking for us?
Um,
They
I-
gonna turn a blind eye while we investigate?
I would stay clear of them and try not to do whatever it is you did to draw their attention.
Okay.
I mean,
That seems
the whole
really
point.
accusatory.
Well, that's because you did something to draw the guard's attention.
What?
I don't know. You haven't mentioned it, and I'd rather not know.
Wait, what did we do? We just helped someone.
No, they before you were born, I guess they did something here. I don't know what. I left them alone for a couple of days, and now people are looking for them. I don't know why.
You don't know that.
Wait, something bad?
No.
Okay.
It was just interpreted as bad.
Oh.
But
We
it
didn't
wasn't
steal
bad.
anything. We didn't hurt anyone.
True.
Not bad.
What?
Woo!
No, that's-
Woo!
You knocked that guy out. You hurt him.
What guy?
He's fine now. Walk
One of the
it off.
the director of the
His
Scribes
brain
Guild or
damage.
whatever.
He has severe brain damage.
No, he
now.
doesn't.
No,
he doesn't.
He can't smell anymore.
God, he didn't play football. Just bonked him.
You knocked him unconscious, then you snuck out the room.
He's fine.
I don't remember it like that.
He's got a little headache.
In 30 years, he'll have ALS, and he won't know why.
Stop!
Damn.
What is wrong with you? He's fine.
Paladin of guilt.
All right.
Jesus
Jeez.
Christ.
So that's laid on the table that you have this offer of
We'll
employment,
probably
et
won't
cetera.
deal with too many guards. That's the point. We're not investigating for the guards. We're investigating for this particular man because he's worried that guards might turn up things that are not pertinent to the investigation. He didn't mention, but things that aren't technically illegal, but society would frown upon, or people would be angry about, or people could be used to blackmail somebody. All that kind of stuff is why he's enlisting our help.
So when he mentions this, like it does occur to you. You picked up that broadsheet last
The mocking
last
minstrel.
session, the mocking minstrel, and it seems like these things basically are kind of gossip rags, and so this sort of thing is probably going to turn up in the next issue of the mocking minstrel or something else like that. And so it makes sense that Cyrus's angle on this thing is, let's privately find out what really happened so that we can control the story here as much as possible, as opposed to letting the city watch investigate what happened and maybe something uglier than what we want will get in the papers,
Okay.
right? So, all right. That being said, unless there's something extraordinary that you want to do, you spend the night peacefully.
Wait, can you repeat the information we got out of that interrogation? I know he gave us a name and a place.
He had a place, not a name, I think.
I thought he gave us a name
No,
too.
he said he didn't know the person who hired them.
But there was a place, right?
Two different guys.
It was like the last thing we did, I think.
Is the last thing?
It was pretty much the last thing we did.
Destroys the captive. He says, captive is human. Kleidos Jarl. Was that his name?
That was his name?
Woman hired him, beat down Tobias Mar, who plays Ren. And there's someone named Berwin, who's a wizard.
Yeah,
So
he
we need to
works
go
for
to the
Baron.
dock ward.
Yeah,
And Berwin was the wizard we fought that
right.
disappeared.
And that's the name he gave.
So we
and
need to
said,
find him.
Go to the dock ward.
And then I wrote Night and Shadow.
That's the name of the place.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I knew
So
we got that.
That's
much.
where they get. That's
Perfect.
where
Thank
he
you.
got hired.
Good notes.
Well, kind of.
That's pretty much.
Oh,
What
you
Free
guys,
association.
you guys interrogated one of the prisoners? Where is it?
Where's what?
We
Where's the
blew it
prisoner?
home.
He's in the fireplace.
Zach!
What?
Ava.
What? What?
What do you mean he's in the fireplace?
She
He's
means.
in the fireplace. You can see him right there.
She just means.
Ava.
She just means she doesn't
What?
understand what people leaving a room means yet.
No, we
That was
put.
a door, Ava.
It was a door. He's not.
He left
From a
out the
cursory
door.
glance, what does the fireplace look like?
He just looks like ash.
It looks like there's there's a bunch of fine papery ash in there, like as if there had been a big wasp nest or something, but that had been kind of sliced
And it
up.
was pretty clean
or
when I left.
It could have
Friday.
been like a bunch of sheaves of paper that all got burned very quickly all at the same time. Yeah, I mean,
Why?
To be fair to them, it doesn't look
Yeah, it doesn't
human.
look like. Yeah.
But yeah, certainly there's a lot more ash in the fireplace than you remember.
Why is Ava saying that the man is in the fireplace?
She's confused.
Because
and,
that's where we-
It's fine. Okay, maybe we should just tell him.
Oh my God, Harold. Oh my God.
The dog is snoring.
Is that what's going on? Is he snoring?
Perfect. He's the perfect.
The only time my dog makes a noise like that is when he's incredibly comfortable, but it's only once in a while. So it'll be quiet in the apartment, and then all of a sudden, every once in a while, you can just hear.
Oh God.
Jesus.
Me
oh,
too.
it's a dinosaur.
Me too.
Yeah. Do you want to press this?
What happened to the prisoner?
He wasn't the prisoner. We were just interrogating him.
He's a man we took prisoner.
He was a bad guy.
He was a bad
He was. That he was.
So,
He said-
moving on.
He said if we let him leave this room alive, we would die.
And your sword was really helpful.
And,
Wait, he did not
And
say
after that, I was like, well, I have no choice. Also, my sword is hungry, so we may have fed him to Black Racer.
It was really helpful. And now we don't have to get rid of the body.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Crisis averted. We did get information out of him, though. Don't you want to know that?
Torm guide me. Okay, so that the corrupted sword that feasts on souls that you have in your possession, but had thankfully not used yet, you finally broke that seal.
I mean, it wasn't really up to me. You know, this sword is part of me, and as long as I have it, it's going to make me do things sometimes I don't want to do. And you know what?
Wait, what? What kind of sword is this?
Well, so it's a sentient, living weapon that sometimes requires the blood of others to survive.
Right, but you
And
said
their
it tells you
souls.
what to
And
do.
themselves.
It tells me sometimes what to do.
You shouldn't listen to it.
I don't have a choice.
You should get rid of it then.
Oh, no, I can't because my dad's in it.
I don't understand.
I'm also the warden of a prison that sort of exists inside the sword in a book.
It's a lot of information to take in, Ava, but this sword was needed for a purpose, and that purpose involved Thawne tying himself to the sword. Hopefully not permanently, but it's not a great sword.
Well,
It's literally a great sword.
I meant like it has properties that are not good.
well, that's not good. What do you have to do to get rid of it?
Well, in a few months' time, when my father is free in himself, I'll find a way to get rid of it. I
Okay,
will.
I'll help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Isn't she great? Oh.
My girl.
So obviously you are familiar with the idea of a sentient weapon, right? Because she has wave, and you're familiar with what wave is and can do and that sort of thing. But yeah, you know, wave would never force somebody to do something
Right.
in this way. So that idea is alien to you.
Okay.
All right. Barring any further. Yeah, fair enough.
Be cool.
Fine.
Chill
Fine.
out.
Fine.
Have some marshmallows.
What?
S'mores?
The fire never got on.
Oh,
He
What?
just disintegrated.
never mind.
Yeah, it's not hot in the fireplace at all.
Never mind. Gross.
Gross. Cool. Okay.
All right. So the night passes uneventfully. You get recharged from a long rest. Everything's good.
Oh, that means I have to roll in this check.
What?
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Can you pass me a Diet Coke, Eric?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. All right. So you have been invited back to the Light Singer Theater. Yes. they're having rehearsals for the show this afternoon, and you know that the cast is going to be there starting around 11 or so. So if you would like to interview people or otherwise continue your investigation, that's your appointed time to show up. Is there anything you would like to do ahead of that?
Just to clarify, because I keep getting it mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
Name and character of the guy who got killed.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand. It's confusing to me too.
Actor who plays Jane. It's Jane. Is the character name?
So, yeah, Jain.
Fyrus Wintersteel.
Right. Is played by an actor named Fyrus Wintersteel.
And he died.
No, he was supposed to duel a character named. I believe he was.
No, Jane falls dead, right?
Well,
Nobody died.
the only person who died was the
okay,
man.
but I mean, got poisoned.
Yeah,
Jane
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
poisoned.
He was attempted to be assassinated.
Yeah. So Jane and his nemesis Ren were supposed to duel, right?
No,
So
who's
those
the
are the characters,
actor?
Jane and Ren. So it's a romance
Ren is
about
Tobias.
Okay.
It's a romance about a paladin of Torm named Jane and Ello, who is a troubadour, who is supposed to be a female troubadour. Ello is the woman, right?
Ella's the character name.
Yeah, that's the character
her
name.
name's
And
White
Ello's
Death.
father is a guy named Ren, who does not want her to marry Jane. So Ren and Jane were going to duel. Ren was played by a guy named Tobias Marr, who's kind of... So Fyrus Wintersteel, who played Jane, he's sort of the established actor in town, if you will. He's considered kind of the long-standing Waterdeep's finest. Tobias Marr is sort of the new hotness, the up-and-coming male lead who was the one who got poisoned and knocked out on stage. And probably, appeared to be dead, except that Grayson managed to figure out, like, oh, I can heal this guy. And then Eloe is played by a woman named Aerie White Dove.
Aerie?
Aerie, yes. And she is a human female.
Can we put a mic on the dog?
Yeah,
Oh my God,
we
so
need
funny.
we need some sort of tip level where we can activate the Herald cam.
I confirmed you can't hear it on the street.
Yeah, it's
So
bizarre because
Let's fix that.
we can
Yeah.
hear it, but they can't hear it on the stream.
It's so precious.
All right. So that's what's going on. There is plenty of hustle and bustle at the theater as people begin to roll in, and of course there's other people in the company who are there to warm up and talk about what happened last night and that sort of thing. So, is there anything you'd like to do before you arrive at the theater?
Breakfast?
Should we disguise ourselves?
No?
I'm very good at that.
I mean, why? I don't see why we would need to.
Okay.
No one knows this.
They know we're coming to investigate.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, they might have. All the actors probably saw us fucking around in the audience.
We could disguise ourselves just because it's fun.
I'm really good
We
at
play
mean-
trick on them.
I would rather stay me and not. I don't like.
That sounds
I mean,
much fun.
they're
this is
expecting
interesting.
Grayson to show up. They know that Grayson
Oh, I'm
had.
gonna put on a disguise.
They know that Grayson had some friends in the
Starlet.
audience, but they don't necessarily
That's
know
fine.
what you guys look like, right? I mean, I'm sure somebody in the crowd might have been like, "Oh yeah," and then there's this woman who like shed this incredibly
Aldo
bright
Gigglebot.
light. But
Aldo Gigglebot.
yeah.
You were Alice Giggle.
You guys can, if you want to be Mr. and Mrs. Gigglebutt, that is your prerogative.
Oh, you should do that. That sounds good.
I don't.
Giggle
I don't-
bod.
What
I
was
don't
my
wanna-
other one?
I'm not gonna
Oh,
pretend to be somebody.
Well, we'll take. You can take charge
They're
on this.
expecting
So
you.
if you
Yeah.
don't want any shenanigans, we'll trust you.
And I don't think it's necessary, but it's up to you guys.
I'm fine as me then.
I'm gonna dress up. What was my name before though, where I was doing that weird voice? Billy Ray Cripplesnatch. What is that? Crippy Snitch?
I think Crippy Snitch was the pie salesman.
Yeah. You have a good memory. Well, okay, I'm gonna dress up just like a fancy lady who wants to be a starlet.
Okay.
Oh, I'll do that with you.
Perfect.
Can I be what is a starlet? Can I be that too?
Like you want to be a star, darling.
Do
Like
I
you
have
want to
to
be famous? Like you want all eyes on you? Like you want the lights from the rafters shining bright right on your face?
Okay, I like this. I can do that.
Perfect.
Okay.
You gotta come up with a fake name.
Oh, okay.
I mean, does she?
What's a good fake name?
Well, tell us, Tom.
Yes.
Oh,
Jen.
man.
us, Tom.
Jen,
What are
right.
Oh boy, do
Jen.
I have anything left in that particular
I had
folder?
that good one. I just don't remember.
Good fake name. Oh, no, I have an idea. You decide to look in the Mocking Minstrel to come up with a fake name. 'Cause you're not sure what
Yes.
and you decide to call yourself House Rallyhorn.
House Rallyhorn?
Sure.
I like it.
First name House.
I've got the perfect name.
What is it?
House Rallyhorn.
House?
Yeah,
All right.
I don't understand.
right. It sounds great, right?
I guess. I mean, it's whatever you want it to be.
Perfect.
It doesn't sound like a real name, so sure, but.
Well, your name doesn't sound like a real name either.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Why? Why doesn't it?
Second,
Why doesn't it sound like a...
second
know.
son
You
of
just-
the morning wood.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a tree.
Well, it's supposed to... Oh, thank you. That's kind of nice, actually.
You're welcome.
It's supposed to disguise my actual identity so people don't know who I am.
Who are you?
Well, I'm Thon. I have a last name, I just don't tell people.
Oh, okay.
Because if people know who I was, they could find where I live, and it's a whole thing.
Is that common?
No, it hasn't happened yet,
Okay.
thankfully.
Good.
But my father told me it might be a good idea.
Oh, okay.
So, I guess it's just tradition or something.
Weird tradition.
I agree, but I'm stuck with it now, huh?
It was weird when we were children. It's like, no, it's my secret name. And like, you live next door. I know.
He knew where you lived. He came to your house.
He did. We were, well, sometimes his best friend bullied me a lot. But he's dead now, so...
The bully?
Oh,
Or
yes.
your best friend?
Oh, no, his best friend.
Oh, your best friend's dead.
Yes.
He killed him.
Oh, why? Was he a bad guy?
He had been turned into one. Well, no,
Yes.
he wasn't.
Things aren't so black and white, are they?
No.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so you head to the theater. Like I said, you go in the stage door. Cyrus Stonearm is there waiting for you. He's actually he's sitting on the edge of a huge crate trunk full of props and costumes and stuff like that that's been wheeled out, sitting on the stage. He's having a cup of coffee in one hand, and he's kind of smoking a pipe and staring contemplatively out into the the lit up theater as the light comes through the windows and shines down, fills the empty rows of seats in the stands down below and that sort of thing. So he's out there just kind of puffing contemplatively, and then he's like, "Oh, well, Grayson, it's good to see you this morning.
Cyrus?
These are your fellow investigators, is
Yes.
that right?"
These are my friends.
Wait, is he the only one out there? Or all
There are
the
other
actors
people
out
kind of like hustling around, and and there's the assistant director is like, "We're gonna get started in 15 minutes, everybody."
You having a rehearsal?
Oh well, we're having auditions.
Oh,
Are you two, the three of you, look perhaps like you might be actors? Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
yes. Not me, not much, but
No,
I mean,
well-
I could do some stunt work maybe.
Oh, very good. Well, if you'd like to audition, we're always reading new people, looking to fill new parts. I do have a little two-person scene if you'd like to.
Can I ask how long was this audition been planned in advance? Or is this a new development, or was this?
Oh, we always have sides available.
But like would anyone have known last night that auditions were today?
No. Since your friends came by, I thought maybe I would
okay.
pay them the courtesy of auditioning them.
Okay.
No. We're having rehearsals to get the show
Yes.
brushed up to speed. Of course, it was a terrible opening night. We need to make sure that everything goes silky smooth tonight. There'll be a lot of pressure on to debut the show in the best possible light. We want to make sure that big sword fight goes off without a hitch, unlike last night.
Yes.
So, no, today is just a matter of getting things brushed up.
Might not be a bad idea to have a couple of us on stage to see things up close.
Or, to get, I'm here on an official capacity, but people are less likely to talk to a man like me than they are perhaps a fellow actor, someone they can relax around.
Yeah. All right. What's the parts for?
Oh, well, we're practicing a little play called The School for Scandal.
All right. And you said you had 2 openings?
Well, these are rehearsal sides. It's not coming up for a couple months yet.
Oh.
Assuming, of course, that the Ballad of Jane and Ello
Thank you.
goes well. But if you'd like to audition for the upcoming show, I have sides.
Yes, I would love to play the lead, whichever that is.
That's tricky. It's a scene for Sir Peter and Lady Teasel. I think you'd make a wonderful Lady Teasel if you'd like to
Very well.
read for her.
If there are any other leads, I also
Well,
would
Sir
read for it.
Peter.
Oh, okay.
But just because it's Sir Peter doesn't mean that you couldn't audition. This is just an audition piece.
Perfect.
Do you know how to read?
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very good.
Wait, did we start?
Well, let's get on the stage first.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, please. And
Can
then
you turn the spotlight on?
Yes, more lights, please.
and he kind of looks at you like, oh, this is how it's gonna go. All right.
Can I? I'll let you handle that. I'll probably have a side scene with the prop master at some point.
All right. Oh, where is that thing? Where is that thing? Here it is. Is it? Yeah. All right. So he yells to his assistant director, and he's like, Hugo, bring up some lights here. Let's get the little spotlight going on our 2 fine actresses.
I also want a hot water with a lemon.
Oh wait, 2 of those, please.
and 2 hot waters with lemon.
For my voice.
Do
It
you,
must be perfect.
do you need to do any warm ups, or should we go right to
Very good. Perfect.
Do we always do that? Yeah. Okay.
Very good. It's good to be loose. Remember, this is a comedy, so it would be good if
Perfect. I'm hilarious.
there's a certain, campy charm that I can see that you have.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, ladies, when you're ready.
Lady Teasel, I'll not bear it.
Sir Peter, you may scold or smile according to your humor, but I ought to have owned my way in everything. And what's more, I will too, what? Though I was educated in the country, I know very well that women of fashion in London are accountable to nobody after they are married.
Very well, ma'am, very well. So, a husband is to have no influence, no authority?
Authority? No, to be sure. If you wanted authority over me, you should have adopted me and not married me. I am sure you were old enough.
Old enough? Aye, there it is. Well, Lady Teasel, though my life may be made unhappy by your temper, I'll not be ruined by your extravagance.
My extravagance? I'm sure I'm not more extravagant than a woman of fashion. ought to be.
No, madam. You shall throw away no more sums on such unmeaning luxury. Slife to spend as much to furnish your dressing room with flowers in winter as would suffice to turn the Antheon into a greenhouse and give a fete champêtre at Christmas.
Lord, Sir Peter, am I to blame because flowers are dear in cold weather? You shall find fault with the climate and not with me. For my part, I'm sure I wish it was spring all year round and that roses grew under one's feet.
Oons! Madam,
Go on.
If you had been born to those fopperies, I shouldn't wonder at your talking thus. But you forget what your situation was when I married you.
No, I do not. It was a very disagreeable one, or I should never have married you at all.
Yes, madam. You were then in somewhat a humbler style, the daughter of a plain country squire.
Oh, horrible. Don't put me in my mind of it.
Yes, madam, and your daily occupation to inspect the dairy, superintend the poultry, make extracts from the family receipt book, and comb your Aunt Deborah's lapdog.
Abominable.
Yes, madam. These were the recreations I took from you. Have no recollection when you were content to ride double behind the butler on a docked coach horse.
Horrid! I swear I never did.
This, madam, was your situation. And what have I not done for you? I made you woman of fashion, of fortune, of rank. In short, I made you my wife.
Well then, and there is but one thing more you can make me to add to the obligation.
What's that, pray?
Your widow.
Well read. You've performed this play before, I guess.
I wrote it. Don't question me.
All right. That seems a little far-fetched. You don't look like Burchard Friedemann, but...
I mean metaphorically.
I see. Okay.
I wrote it in
Very
my
good.
mind years before I ever performed it.
You inhabited the role. So
This
to
is
speak.
my life.
Yes.
I live this story. I've lived it twice now.
Of being married to a man that you didn't truly wish to be married to.
A woman of poor fortune, marrying into royalty, being widowed, and then again.
Well, I'm glad that you can bring a personal touch to the role. What do you think, Hugo? Yeah, it's fine.
I didn't know that. Who the fuck are you?
I'm the first AD, stage manager.
So nobody?
I wouldn't say nobody.
Well.
Hugo, please, put some manners on. You know how actresses are. Yes, I do.
Is that, nope,
I
read the room off.
Doesn't work on.
Okay.
No. My wife works at the tannery.
The tannery, huh?
Where they skin cows, boil their hides.
But how
Make
fair is
leather.
her skin?
She has really rough red hands. She has to work with a lot of soap and chemicals, boiling water.
You must miss the touch of a softer hand.
I mean, yes, but I love my wife.
This is boring. What's next?
Typical actress. Oh, Hugo, please, keep your cynicism to yourself. Very good. Well, if you'd like to sit in and watch the rest of our rehearsal today, please feel free. Obviously, you are both actresses of good training and some talent.
It's working. Are we cast or not? I must know.
Oh, well, that was just an audition piece. I can't make a decision today. The play won't be for months now. But I can say I am very impressed by what I have seen this fine morning. All right. So, Grayson, you're free to talk to, investigate whoever you want in the theater. Cyrus gives you the run of the place.
Yeah.
You guys are obviously available to mix and mingle with the different actors in the cast or different people backstage. So how would you like to proceed?
First, I want to talk to whoever the prop master is.
Okay. All right. Let's see if there's a defined name for that guy. All right. So, his name is Ivo Adelfried.
Who?
He's a
I'm
half
sorry,
elf.
who?
Half
The
elf.
prop master?
Yeah.
Evil?
Evo. I-V-O.
Oh,
Greetings, Evo. I don't know if your patron has told you, but he's sort of contracted myself and my friends to investigate the unpleasantries from last night and how they happened to occur. I had some questions for you, if that's not too troubling.
No, yeah, I'm anxious to put all this behind me, and of course, I take the safety of my actors very seriously. So, I'm not sure how we arrived at this. Last night, you said it was poison. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, they poisoned the main actor. I noticed just after the performance that clearly props are just on the table and accessible to just about anyone in the cast. I'm curious, where are they stored? I guess in between shows.
In between shows, I have them in a props closet here backstage.
And is that locked, or is there some sort of?
We do have a number of special things that I have made for the show, things that I have rented or otherwise procured, so I do lock it up after every performance,
Okay.
yes. There are some things that we have, for instance, we have rehearsal swords that we use. We don't use the actual swords that we use in performance. We don't want to get too dinged up. So when they're having stage combat rehearsal, we give them wooden swords.
So is the, I guess my particular interest is in the wine from last night and the goblet it was drank from. Those, do you know, I guess, was the goblet itself one of the locked away props?
Yes, the goblet is typically locked away, yes.
And the wine, I noticed it was not... Like, what typically the wine that you would use in a show like this? What would you use? Would you use actual wine?
No, we would just use water that would have a little bit of coloring to it.
I noticed that it seemed to taste of wine last night.
You noticed? What? Did you drink some?
He was on
Well,
stage.
it shouldn't have been actual wine. Sometimes, I'm not saying that either Mr. Wintersteel or Mr. Farr are, of course, Mr. Marr are these types of actors, but sometimes the actors insist, for realism's sake, on substituting the watered wine with the authentic product.
And
We don't endorse that. We don't approve that. That's not our policy here at the Light Singer.
of course,
But,
so to your
actors
knowledge,
do their own thing.
to your knowledge, that was not supposed to be the case.
No, it should not be real wine. No. Why don't we take a look at the bottle? And he goes over to, Yeah, so the theater was basically just like locked up last night and left the way it was, right? Maybe some things have been moved around because obviously people have been in this morning, all right? But he goes over to the table and he picks it up and he goes, this is the same brand of wine, but this is wine, and in fact it's 2 years newer than the bottle that I have been using. I use the same bottle over and over again. This bottle's been switched with the one that I usually put out. So I'm not sure where this came from.
So this particular, I guess, the bottle that you used, is that from a particular source? Did you? I mean, you've had it for a while. I
It's
assume.
stage wand. It's just a very common. It's a vintage out of Silvery Moon, but it's very cheap. We don't.
Mm.
We just had an old bottle sitting around, and I wash it and reuse it.
Yes. So it's not a specific one you would have gotten from a particular area.
No. It's a very common brand of wine.
All right. So anyone, to your knowledge, could have purchased a bottle just the same as yours and swapped it out.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Can I ask, to your knowledge, is there a particular, I don't know, I know that you say that it is not the policy of this theater to allow the actors to replace the wine. Do you know if there's a particular place the actors here hang out, or a particular tavern maybe that they would hang out in their off hours, or if they were to purchase wine, if there's maybe the closest location where you might see them doing so? It's possible you wouldn't know such things.
I'm not usually invited out to go celebrate with the cast. They usually do go next door. Where's my book? Where's my book?
Thanks, Jimixon, for the 25.
They usually go to a place nearby called the Misty Beard.
Misty Beard. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. For the moment, I believe that's the only questions I have. I may think of more, but you've been very helpful. Thank you for your time.
Okay, give me a perception check.
All right. How badly am I gonna do this first roll of the night?
Damn.
Badly.
Ooh.
Bad.
You have 2. Oh, it's too late.
Yeah, but not for this reroll.
Bing, bang,
Bing, bang,
the good news is that this reroll from Gojira is going over to Havana.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Gojira.
Yes.
Thanks for the
Also, RJ Canuck sends in a bump for everyone.
reset. Thank you, RJ.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rock
yeah,
on.
Yeah.
Reroll, and I'm gonna use inspiration because I got it twice.
Oh, all right.
So that's 11 and a 5 again. So perception, you said?
Yes.
So that's an 11.
11 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
My perception is 0.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So that's fine.
That's fine.
You look at the only thing that you notice about the paper is that it almost seems like it's been maybe torn a little bit in kind of or shifted a little bit. You'd expect it to be. You can tell from the way that. Just to back up, there's a props table.
Yeah, and the paper that has the
There's a piece of butcher's paper on it, and all of the props that are used in the show have an outline on it, are outlined on it, and then labeled like what they are and kind of what part of the show that they get introduced in or handled in, right? But you do notice that the outlines are very meticulous. So Evo must pay a lot of attention to detail, right? But when you look at the butcher paper sitting on the table, you can tell that it's kind of just shifted a little bit, like diagonally. It just strikes you as a little bit odd, like.
The butcher paper.
Yeah, the paper itself, like everything has kind of been is kind of canted at a slight angle, whereas it's a square table. It should be squared up and match with the edges.
And that's like what all the props are on?
Yeah.
Have you noticed the paper is sorry to take up more askew?
Oh. Yes, that's not right. And he kind of shifts it back into position. Kind of.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to do with any of that information.
Accuse him.
All right. So the three of you are mixing and mingling with the cast, and Tobias Marr comes rolling in, and he's got a purple scarf around his neck, and he's wearing this big kind of oversized floppy sweater. And Airy White Dove comes in, and she is like decked out like to the nines, right? She's wearing almost like this kind of like cat suit kind of thing, and she's wearing some big like jangly bracelets. Her makeup is done immaculately. Her hair, you can tell it's one of those things where it's supposed to look like she just sort of put her hair together, but she clearly spent an hour like getting the curls right and getting the swoop of her bangs perfect and all that kind of stuff. And she's got sunglasses and a little cigarette. She comes in and is just like smoking a storm like through the stage. And Hugo kind of gives a perfunctory like airy note, and she's like and she throws it in his coffee cup.
Oh my God.
And so the actors are beginning to congregate, and then you hear one of them just sort of kind of go, oh boy, and you look over and you see a halfling come rolling in, and she's got a little notebook with her, and she's got a quill that is kind of an odd, local to like it's a water deep type of curiosity where she's got a mechanical quill, right?
Whoa.
So it has the big feather on the end, but the tip of it is all metal, and it looks like it has a couple of tubes attached to it that hold ink into it, so you never have to dip it in an inkwell, right?
Okay.
And she comes in and she's like, Tobias, I want to talk to you first. And Tobias is like, oh, of course, Roxy, darling, whatever you'd like. I'm happy to speak with you. I want to make sure we get the story straight on what happened last night. Very distressing turn of events, our opening night. Well, I don't think it's too much to say that it was ruined by someone. So she sort of interrogates this guy, and it's very clear that this woman, once he says Roxy, it sort of rings a bell with you guys. Oh, she's one of the reporters for the Minstrel.
Oh, okay.
And she's obviously like gathering material to write a big story on, like, to go in that day's broadsheet of opening night. And she's like, oh yeah, I already wrote one story about it this morning, but of course there weren't a whole lot of facts to get out there, and I'm curious to hear what actually went down. So she begins to kind of, there's this interesting kind of like dance, because Airy and Tobias are very eager to talk to her, but Phyrus Wintersteel, the guy who actually got poisoned, doesn't seem to have any interest in answering her questions, and he's sort of off on the other side of the stage by himself. He seems kind of sullen. He's having a cup of coffee, and somebody comes up and asks him a question, and he kind of brushes them off, and they go away. And he's very much, the dynamics of the cast are usually that everybody's kind of talking to each other and making small talk and talking about the show, and there's kind of that, like, let's work out nerves, or I want to talk about this section of the show, blah, 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 blah. And he's very much in his own world. He certainly hasn't, like, joined the repartee of the cast at this point. But Tobias and Airy are both kind of like having like trying to compete for Roxy's attention about, well, actually, what I heard was. So, what would you guys like to do? Sort of sets the scene for you a little
I'm
bit.
gonna try and talk to Wintersteel.
Maybe we should.
Talk to who?
Oh, that sad man over there. Don't you want to make him happy?
Oh, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. We could tell him a joke.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what joke she knows.
So,
I'm
I
very
really, I
excited to
really
see.
know.
Yeah.
so Pyrus is a male moon elf, and he is wearing royal blue today. He has fair skin and long silver hair. And he's sort of tall and a man of distinction.
Oh, hello, Pyrus. Darling, I love your work.
Sorry, I don't believe we've had the acquaintance.
Oh, yes, I'm Alice Gigglebud.
Alice
Gigglebud.
Gigglebutt.
Gigglebud.
Yes.
Bud. With a D?
Gigglebud.
Gigglebud.
Gigglebud. Ah.
Yes. You may know my
Wow.
work from such productions as Fantasia Never Knew, or perhaps even Across the River and Through the Goop.
Are you Troy McClure?
Who's that?
Yeah. It's from The Simpsons. He's like, "Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such."
From such infomercials
bullshit.
as lead paint, delicious but deadly. Across the river and through the
Goop, yes.
Goop.
It's sort of a starts as a family tale, but then it turns into something much darker.
Ah.
That's kind of how I am, you know. Come across real sweet and precious, but then I get real dark. You know what I mean, Pyrus?
Well, I, of course, am a dramaturg, but I prefer the classics. I'm not familiar with all of these new theater forms that are coming up. I've heard even that there's entertainments where they don't even have a script. They merely make it up on the spot. Disappointing.
Sounds like a cult.
I very much respect you about that, Pyrus, which is why I want to introduce you to my colleague.
House
colleagues.
Valleyhorn. That's my name. You look really sad. Did you hear the watermelon joke?
Oh my god.
No, I'm not familiar with the watermelon
She loves a good joke.
It's pitiful.
I don't get it.
Watermelons have. Yeah.
They have
Pits.
pits.
So I'm going to give you disadvantage on this because, you know,
It's a
not-
really
not-
good joke.
nothing
though.
you're good
Come
at.
on.
They're really bad jokes.
but if you
like
want
a
to
really
spend your
good bad
inspiration to
Did you
offset
Google bad jokes?
offset the
I googled water jokes and got watermelon.
if you want to use your inspiration to offset, that's fine. But yeah, that's up to you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So what that gives me,
Really
that just is like a normal roll.
A normal roll, yeah, and you're using bumps or not using bumps?
Yeah, I'll use one.
He's tricking
One
you.
bump.
He was tricking me.
I feel like that's cocked.
Okay.
got
It's a
it.
10,
You can redo it because you gave him your totem.
No.
but I had disadvantage.
So
So
It
evens
evened
it out.
out. God.
What's your charisma?
My charisma
Oh.
is 15.
All right, so you got a 12.
The
Well,
worst.
yeah, 12. She just has a great smile when she says it.
Yeah. I mean, it's decent. Unfortunately, he's not in a particularly like
Something about
joke
almost being
mood.
murdered.
Yeah.
And this is our assistant, Airgrad.
Ergrad.
Nice to meet you.
Where's your notepad, Airgrad?
Can you
Tell
get
him a
me
joke.
Ergrad, can you get me a cup of hot tea? I feel like my voice isn't really in full bloom yet this morning. A little bit of hibiscus, if you don't
Have
mind,
you ever tried lemon in
with
there?
a touch of honey. Oh, lemon, yes. I find that my voice really comes into full flower when I have just a hot tea with a touch of hibiscus without any lemon.
To each their own, I suppose. Well,
Yes, of course. I'll be right back. Hope it doesn't mind getting poisoned twice in 2 days. And I walk away.
So, ladies, are you joining the company? Are you auditioning?
we're hoping. We just auditioned earlier.
And we did really well.
It went quite well indeed.
Oh, yes.
We've got a great response from the director and assistant director, and you know, it's all coming up for us.
It usually does.
Are you new in Waterdeep? I don't know that I have.
We are new. We come from across the mountains, which is We're mostly alternative theaters going on, so. We're trying to
yes.
come back and start doing something more traditional because that's where our roots are. That's what we really care about. Is traditional theater with a heart and a purpose and a message. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yes. Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, I haven't even taken my character sheet out yet. Whoopsie. Hold on, though. I might have that.
Oh, hold on. I have all these rerolls
Yeah,
here.
you got 2 rerolls.
I do have a reroll. I just want to see what it is.
Because it's like plus 10.
Yeah, it is something like that. What is this laminate? Oh, okay.
Now, I will point out, while we're in the middle of something here, that Shimmickson has made a flashback scene available to you. So if you want to have a quick flashback scene that would explain how you've, how you're particularly prepared or apt for the task at hand.
Is that worse? Oh, it's an 8. So that is a 15.
15. All right. So yeah, you mentioned you kind of play to his vanity and to his love of classic theater, and he warms to you. He said, "Well, if you are interested in auditioning, I do hold some classes up at the college, and you would be welcome to come and do some scene study with my students."
I would just love that, darling. To learn from somebody as talented as yourself.
Well, yeah.
But I must say, is this recent brush with death changed your perception of theater, your style of acting? How has it affected you?
Well, let me confide in you, if I may.
I insist.
I pride myself on my work, and of course there was great anticipation for this duel which Tobias and I have rehearsed so many weeks now. I consider myself a consummate performer and work diligently to make sure that every spoken word, every movement upon the stage is practiced and delivered with intent and purpose. And so to find myself in the midst of, on the verge of one of my greatest performances, and then to be struck low by such a cowardly means, poison. Yes, I could have died. I could have stared into the bottomless black eyes of death and grappled with his scrawny bones and wrestled myself either down into the 9 hells or higher up into the plains of Elysium. Thankfully, now was not that time. But what was taken from me, if not my life, then my dignity upon the stage and my opportunity to perform and impress.
You must be quite upset with the person who did this.
Yes, well, I should very much like to get to the bottom of... I understand Cyrus is taking care of it, but it is a bit of a mark upon my career to have so many of my fans in attendance and then to disappoint them in such a sad and pathetic way.
I mean, being a man who is so in tune with his body and feelings and vocalizations, you must have some inclination who did this.
I know not. Far be it from me to cast aspersions upon Tobias. He did practice just as diligently as I. He was prepared to duel. Of course, his technique is still a bit rough. He has not benefited from the years of experience, nor the tutelage which I have. However, it is not my place to make an accusation that would be baseless and merely founded in petty emotion.
I do not mean to suggest you are petty. I just mean to compliment your emotional intelligence and attunement with your surroundings and instinct. Which, as we all know, to be an expert in the theater, you must have. If you do not know yourself, how can you know any character? If you do not know what is around you, how can you perceive the interactions scripted between others?
All I can tell you is that it's possible over the length of my career that I have created cause for jealousy, inspired envy in other performers. Perhaps there is more than one man out there whose wife has been swept up in my charms. That's not something which I can speak to. It simply comes with the territory of being an award-winning thespian. And I try to put those dark thoughts behind me of all of the sad and bitter envy and jealousy that there may be out there for a man as talented as I. But in terms of naming names, I cannot think of anyone specific who would wish me dead.
He doesn't seem to have any information.
Disappointing. Perhaps you want another joke?
I have another one. Here, let me just recall it real quick. It was, your girlfriend is so ugly when she gets in the tub, the water jumps out.
Here's your drink.
It was a good one, right?
It was really good.
Here's the
Good,
tea
good.
you wanted.
I heard somebody say that on the street.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yes. Are you also a thespian, or are you merely...
I'm more of an understudy at this point.
I see.
I need a lot of training before I can even approach the stage, so it's...
Well, come up to the college at New Ulm, and perhaps we'll have... there's some undergraduate courses you can pursue.
Really? Oh, I would love to. Could you give me a recommendation?
No, I couldn't do that. That would be abusing my position.
My sword just shaking in my lap.
Why I oughta?
That's all right. That's okay. Maybe another time.
You're
somebody-
welcome to apply. I can certainly inform the staff that you'll be making an application.
I'll apply when I'm ready. When I feel that I'm ready.
To each in his own time. Keep in mind you are a human. You don't have many years upon this earth.
Thank you. Thank you.
Haunting.
Oh, well.
Such is the tragedy of the short-lived races.
Oh, boy. I have to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to go. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I walk
All right.
backstage.
Very good. Is there anything else you want to ask him about?
Sounds like you don't got nothing.
What did it taste like? What did it taste like? I'm sorry.
It tasted sweet, a bit syrupy, but then as soon as the concoction lit upon my tongue, it had a certain effervescence to it. But then again, thereupon, I immediately began to go numb, and I felt my heart race into my throat, and then I collapsed, all was black. Until, of course, that noble paladin over there conjured the great power of Torm within him, infused me with his divine essence, and purged the toxin from my body.
Can I roll some sort of nature check, or to how he's describing the poison, to see if I would know, being in with assassins and stuff?
Okay. That would either, let's see, there's not alchemy, right? That would likely be...
Arcana?
yeah, well...
Medicine?
I was going to say a medicine check.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give this 3 bumpies.
Mm-hmm.
3 little babies.
3 little bumps. So 14, 15, 16, 17, and then 18 with my +1.
18 total.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what you know about this type of poison, so it's clearly like some sort of ingested poison, right? But then also having observed what happened on the stage and whatnot, you can tell you've heard rumors of sort of a potion of false death, right? So you think this poison was probably meant to emulate like a heart attack or something like that.
Sure.
And make him look like he was dead, but not actually kill him. So
Okay.
I'm not sure what else to take. In terms of the only other piece of information you get out of that is that this is a very weird poison, right? This is an exotic thing. It's not common. It would not be used. It would maybe rarely be used by assassins in sort of some sort of like weird kind of caper, but it's not a poison that is useful as a poison, right?
Because it doesn't actually kill him.
It doesn't actually kill him. Yeah. And it probably, you would guess if it's it probably wouldn't be too long before it would be detected that the person's actually alive. And it probably wouldn't last very long, right? So it's strange to you in that it would be a lot of work to make this poison work in such a specific way to bring somebody to the brink of death but not actually kill them, that it's possible there's some magic involved in the poison. If not just possible, probably likely. And you're not sure who would have expertise in brewing this type of thing, because it's not a signature poison
Sure.
of an assassin's guild, and it's not commonly used in any of the jobs that you would know about, right? Stuff that, typical poisons would be, oh, okay, well, I want to paralyze this person. Like, that would make sense, right? If they were paralyzed, they would seem like they were dead too, but they'd probably also just die, right? So paralyze them, or just outright kill them, or maybe kind of slowly poison them where it builds up and then it gradually kills them. Like, those would be typical poisons that you might see deployed.
Yeah.
But this is very showy. There's a lot of flash to it, but also would take an incredible amount of skill in order to pull this particular poison off.
Okay. I'm done talking to him.
All right, great.
You say that to him.
I'm done talking to you.
All right, so the reporter from the Mocking Minstrel looks like she's done kind of talking to Tobias and Ari, and she kind of goes whistling out of and she kind of goes whistling by Cyrus Stonearm as he's getting some stuff put together, and she's like, any comment? And he's like, not today. And she's like, noted. And she kind of goes bustling and hustling out of the theater. Do you want to talk to Tobias or Ari? How would you like to proceed with the rest of your investigation here?
I kind of want to talk to Ari. I haven't heard anything from her yet.
Okay.
So she never got on stage last night, though, right? Because
she was on stage.
It was
She certainly was on stage.
We just
It
didn't
was
see that.
early in the first act.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole setup between her character and Jane had been set up, and of course some of the jealousy and whatnot of her father Ren, who's played by Fyrus. That all had played out. It was just it was building to this climactic duel that was supposed to happen. That's when this riot and whatnot took place.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Okay, I'll walk up to her and be sort of starstruck because since I'm playing an understudy, I'm going to continue doing that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Miss White Dove.
Oh, hi. Hi. I'm sorry.
I've never seen you so close. I've always seen you from the
Oh,
back row.
well, yeah. That's, how did you get backstage here at the theater?
I am an understudy of some of the new
Okay.
talent, and I would love to shake your hand, if that's all right.
Sure.
It's a pleasure to
Nice
meet you.
to meet you. Mm-hmm.
How do you like the stage? How did you like the show last night? I mean, the terrible tragedy, what happened, got cut early, but your performance was great as always.
Well, that's very kind of you. Yes. It was. What else can I say other than disappointing, right? Yeah,
Yes.
that's an awful thing to have the show interrupted like that.
Of course,
And
yes.
I had my monologue
Oh.
over the death of my father, where I, rage against his impetuousness and his jealousy, and I'm brought to tears by his death and his inability to understand the depths of my love for Jane, and I was robbed of my moment. So not a great night for me at the theater.
Rue, that's awful. I'm so sorry. I will come to your next show. I will see. Maybe I'll see every show that you do.
Oh my God.
Well, that's very kind of you. Yes,
Oh.
I hope you come.
I've heard some rumors that they were going to fight over you on stage.
I don't know. That doesn't seem likely.
You don't think so? I mean, I've seen the way they look at you. I mean, everybody looks at you.
Well,
but,
I mean, Pyrus maybe, but let's be honest, Tobias kind of has a crush on him, doesn't he?
What?
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, we haven't met.
No, I'm sorry. I'm out of character.
What do you, as a crush on
On
Pyrus?
Pyrus? Oh, please.
Really?
Well, he's certainly not into me, so what else could it be?
But does that upset you? Do you like Tobias?
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
And you're not romantically entangled with anybody?
I don't see how that's your business.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I didn't mean that. I just,
I'm taken, if that's what you're asking. I am
not.
taken.
I was not.
Yeah.
Didn't mean that. I also taken, so nothing there. But it's interesting to hear.
You're not wearing a ring.
Oh, well, when you come to the stage and as an understudy, I've taught you should shed those things. You should shed those things to, make yourself more open to all sorts of roles. Sometimes, if you come wearing a ring.
Is that what you are, is open to different roles?
Of course, yes. I'm always looking for a new role.
Okay, well, go get some training, little boy.
Okay. All right, well, it was very nice to meet you. I'm gonna kill everybody here.
I'm sorry, did I see you getting some tea? I would love another cup of
Oh my
coffee.
God.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll be right back.
Thank you, you're a sweetheart. Thank you.
Oh, yes. I'll go get her that tea.
All right.
Should we go talk to that reporter?
I think she left.
Did she leave? Already?
Did she leave?
I think you said. Okay.
She was on her way out. Yeah, it looks like she's hustled off.
Well, I'm going to grab this tea. When I walk past you, I'll explain what she said. Like, Pyrus probably likes her, but Tobias likes Pyrus.
I guess we could talk to Tobias.
So.
Where are you at?
Well, I'll reconvene with you and tell you guys what I've found out. The wine wasn't supposed to be real, but it was, and it was swapped with a duplicate bottle. It's a 2 years newer vintage than the one that they were using, but it's not like an uncommon vintage. You can get it probably at just about any shop that sells wine. it was a 2-stage poison, so there was something in the wine, but also something in the cup. The cup is locked away, but anyone can get to it throughout most of the show. So
How far into the show was it when that happened? Was it-
About 40, 45 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'll grab her tea, drop it off, and we'll meet up with you guys again. And then,
Did you investigate that butcher paper at all?
Oh, is this hibiscus
No, 'cause I
tea?
didn't notice
It's not my.
anything
I'm
besides
a
it
coffee
was weird.
drinker.
I mean, that's.
It's fine. I can just set it here. That's
No,
fine.
I'll get you. I'll get you some coffee. Of course, I would.
What have you found out?
You are so sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah,
Okay.
anytime. I'll go
I
get some
mean,
coffee.
thanks for all that information.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, it does seem like if it is, I don't see. I mean, they're actors. They're not. They're not wizards. They're not rich, although they might pretend to be. I don't see any of them. If they were going to kill each other, they wouldn't do it this way.
I mean, I'm wondering with the nature of the poison, if he tried to kill him or if he tried to make it look like he was dying. If he poisoned himself.
It's possible, but I don't.
It's a
see,
weird thing for someone else to almost kill you.
Yeah,
Have something to do with reputation? Because he kept talking about that and how important it was.
yeah, but this hurt his reputation. He did not enjoy this.
Well, whether or not it was him or somebody else trying to ruin his reputation.
True, but it seems like there would be easier ways to do that.
Yeah, but these people seem kind of crazy and they want to do all these things that
Fair.
don't make a lot of sense.
That is fair. I just don't see, I can't see an understudy going to this length to get a leg up in the show. None of the actors, I mean, perhaps to embarrass someone, but I don't see the female lead doing that, possibly, and if the other male lead is in love with him, then that doesn't seem likely.
Here's another idea. We know the owner of the theater is in debt. Maybe he poisoned one of his lead actors to draw attention to the play so that this show would be selling out more.
But it was already a sold-out crowd just on the idea of
Opening
the
night,
fight.
That doesn't keep it going for every. If you got two whammies, if you got an anticipated sword fight and an almost murder.
Well, we could see what the ticket sales are for tonight.
It's true.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Everybody just wants coffee all of a sudden, and
Did you bring us some?
Actually, I would love one.
Coffee sounds great.
Hey, you guys, this is very funny, but no,
Now.
no, I'm not a coffee boy anymore. Okay, fine. I'll get you some coffee. But listen, first, I heard what you were saying. Look, it makes a lot of sense.
Where?
I've been listening.
Uh-oh.
You gotta have an
We're so loud.
You gotta have an ear for the stage, okay? You gotta listen to all these conversations. But why? I mean, what? The other things that happened last night was a big brawl broke out. That can't
Yeah.
be good for the theater.
Yeah.
There's no way people are gonna come,
Yeah, nobody wants to come to a place where there's going to be a riot.
and that's what happened. Like,
Some people are voyeurists. They want to come
True.
see other people suffer.
I mean, the idea of people coming to watch a man die on stage is not, although terrible, is not uncommon. But people
What
going
about
to
the death rings of Ashubar?
No, I'm saying that's something that people would do. People, despite the brutality of it, do still enjoy games of blood and death. But the idea of going to a show with the knowledge that you may be embroiled in a fight and be murdered yourself is not as thrilling for the common folk, I would imagine.
Let's look at the sales. I think you have a great idea, Ava.
Yes.
Then we'll know what the people fucking want.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you sort of group up, and I don't know, how do you plan to find out what the ticket sales
Can
are?
we go to the box office?
Yeah. I
I
mean, it's there's,
imagine I pretty much have pretty carte blanche to investigate whatever.
yeah, you can investigate whatever. No,
Or we could
no-
just go being like,
no,
can
the-
we get a ticket for tonight? What
Yeah,
are the sales like?
it's still early enough in the day that the box office isn't actually open yet, right?
Okay.
Let's
So
go
it's
into the box
before
office.
noon.
So they don't do pre-sale?
Well, it would be, It would be starting probably in a couple hours, right? They don't do anything in the morning. They don't have any morning sales. So on your way back to the box office area, you see standing in the lobby, Cyrus is standing there with 3 different nobles who are standing there with him, and they're kind of having some sort of like very quiet but intense conversation there. And then as you guys come out, out from the theater and into the lobby area, Cyrus looks up and says, well, this is the solution to all of your concerns right here. This is Grayson, Sir Grayson, and he is...
I am just Grayson. I am not a knight. I'm of no nobility. I am a paladin. I'm a paladin of Torm.
Grayson, the paladin of Torm, who I can assure you I have retained on behalf of all of the owners here. Lord Torlin, I know you are upset, but I can assure you that our investigation is in the most capable and discreet hands of Sir Grayson here. And also we have some actors who are possible replacements in the cast if need be. And
someone dies.
And so you see, 3 different, very clearly, like, Lord Torlin is on the young side, but you can tell that these are 3 very well-moneyed nobles who must obviously be investors in the production somehow, and they have shown up sort of as a counsel to what appears to be to dress down Cyrus and make sure that that things are going to go straight. And Lord Torlin says, "Well, we have put quite a pretty penny into backing your theater here, Cyrus, and if you are not able to keep this production profitable, if you're not able to keep this production profitable, I'm afraid that perhaps we'll have to find a new director for the theater." Sir Grayson, do you have anything to report so far?
It's too early to, come up with any solid conclusions, but I do feel like that this is certainly the actor was poisoned, and there was with the props that I struggle to say too much because it is still early and I don't wish to state something that becomes a focus of the investigation that turns out to have not been. It is well in hand, is what I will tell you at the moment.
I appreciate your candor. I would like to remind you that I've already seen that ragamuffin from the minstrel come through and leave the theater. So whatever speculation you may have, I suggest you solidify it into solid evidence as soon as possible, because I can guarantee that the speculation that she has in mind will certainly see ink before the day is through.
Yes. Well, we are following leads as to the nature of the poison that affected your actor, and we are also following leads towards the men who tried to, successfully started the riot that we managed to quell with the help of the city guards.
Very good, very good. Well, if there are any resources or anything, any other assistance that we may provide, please let us know. Very good. Thank you, and please be about your business, Sir Grayson.
Thank you.
All right. So, you go and check out the box office. You can see that the ledgers for that day's sales, you can tell already that there are a bunch of refunds that have been requested.
business isn't looking good for tonight.
No,
Yeah.
it seems to be worse.
Yes.
So we have a poison that's not really a poison that took considerable time, skill, and probably money to administer. We have many well-off investors who are understandably antsy about the future of the theater.
I think we need to look elsewhere because who is benefiting from a riot
Yeah.
and all this gossip?
I feel like that's the route we need to go after.
We
That-
need to talk to this Roxy. After all, our contact that we interrogated said a woman hired him, and
It would be nice if we had a way to continue to interrogate him as we got new information.
That.
well, I could.
Well, so remember that.
Oh.
Something I can do.
You might be in the
Hey,
prison.
Thon, what's going on? Oh, I gotta tell you, I woke up this morning, I just had the greatest feeling, huh? Oh,
I had such a great soul boner.
oh,
Is that what that was? Oh.
I woke up with morning steel.
Oh. Hey, about that soul you took yesterday.
Yeah,
Is there a
yeah.
way to talk to them?
Well, I mean,
You
he's
could-
not gone yet.
You could just stab him into a tree, and then we can listen to him scream.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Oh
Grayson,
my
are you sure you don't want to carry me around? You seem really
More
in
and more
tune
each
with the
day. More and
Black
more.
Razor lifestyle.
More and more each day.
Yeah, great idea. Stab me into a tree. That way you'll be able to talk to him.
I mean,
Can't you
sounds-
just go into the prison?
yeah,
He's
maybe-
not in the prison.
He ain't in the prison, sweetheart.
Fucking do not call me that.
Sorry, lady. Bird. Nice person.
Perfect.
okay.
Real lady.
It seems.
Well, I don't. I think he gave us enough. We should go
Yeah.
talk to Roxy and.
I don't think that's an avenue of investigation for us at the moment. Talking to the soul that you.
Right.
You should stop making him do things too. He can choose for himself.
Yeah, cut it out.
Hey, let me just point out, he asked to talk to this guy. I ain't making him talk to
That's
him.
not. You said that you make him do things he doesn't want to do, and you shouldn't do that.
Let me ask you this. You ever get hungry?
Oh my god.
Then what do you gotta do when you get hungry?
Eat.
That's what happened to me.
Wait, you just need to feed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
So you're
lost
not bad.
dog.
No, I'm not bad. If
Oh.
eating is bad, what's bad about eating?
You're right. Eating's good. Okay, this is okay.
Thank
This
you.
is good. Yeah.
It's
Thank
not
you.
okay.
It's
Thank
not. It's
you.
not
Tina.
okay.
Yeah,
What?
no, eating food is fine. Eating souls is bad.
Well, yeah,
What
that
is-
is bad.
What is food if not a material manifestation of a creature's soul?
Exactly. That's all I was trying to say.
What the hell? Why are you defending him? You know
Wait,
he's evil.
Food.
Oh.
Food has.
No.
No, definitely not.
No.
Nope.
That's
Meat
not.
is murder, sister. I
my
hate
God.
to break it to you, but unless you're leading a vegan lifestyle, you're as guilty as anyone else.
Well, that's true. If you're eating animals, you're kind of eating their souls.
No.
No.
Their souls are released.
It's different.
Yes.
That's good. Okay. But everything has to eat,
Everything's gotta eat.
and I eat food, and
You eat food,
He
and
eats souls.
I eat food too. My food comes in more of an ethereal or astral package. Depends upon your feeling on the mythos and the essence of a soul.
yours doesn't eat souls.
No, that's not normal.
I can't help it. I was born special.
He was born special.
Stop defending him. You know he's a fucking creep.
Okay. I know, but it's a necessary evil. All right, for now.
It's not.
The road to the nine hells, man.
I need him for my father. You know this.
He has to get his father.
Yeah. How fun is it that to save one guy, who died with honor, and now he's a corpse inside of an ethereal prison.
Because of
How
a deal you
honorable
made
that
with a vampire.
other people have to lose their souls to save him.
But bad people.
That guy was a trash assassin. You wanted to knock him out in the first place. You had no respect for him or what he was doing, so what's the big whoop?
He was alive.
I'm not gonna try to reason with you. You're
You're right.
your whole brain is just one big soul boner, okay? I'm not gonna talk to you about it. I'm talking to him, so back the fuck up.
All right.
I have an idea. What if we go meet Roxy and I look like Cyrus? Or not Cyrus, sorry. The guy that we... Jarl.
How are you going to look like that?
Jarl.
I have a spell. I can change myself into somebody else.
Why would you want to do that?
Because she's the one who hired them. I mean, I think.
What's the spell?
Alter self? I've been practicing with portals. I can do lots of things. Why are you looking at me like that? It's a thing.
You're a doppelganger. I don't think you
Shut
get
up.
to judge him for that.
Oh, right.
Shut up.
Oh, yeah, I guess, okay, yeah. You could just do
Changing
that.
yourself is wrong.
Okay.
Stop.
It is wrong.
Wait, what? Yes, but I'm doing it for a good cause.
Why Jarl?
Because if she's the one that hired him, she would recognize him.
Oh, is that the wizard?
No, Jarl is the one that we killed. The soul.
Oh,
The bad guy.
Yeah, okay.
That's the guy.
I didn't kill him.
Also, can you, not just mention casually what I am?
That wasn't me.
Did-
No, it wasn't. That was her. Play it back. It was her. It wasn't me.
Wait, what are you?
Off to the clip.
I totally forgot about it. No, I'm serious. I was saying alter self. That's a spell for me.
Okay. Just it's a sensitive subject for me. So.
You're looking at the wrong person again. Look this way.
Yeah, shut up.
Never getting you coffee again.
I never want it again. This is shit.
Extra spit for you.
All right. So, is your plan to go track down Roxy and talk to her?
I think so. Well, I mean, you could try it without the shenanigans first.
If you feel like that's the best route,
Can I help you?
You might not be the
Thanks,
best person
Texas
for
Devin.
that.
Thank you, Texas Devin.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Texas.
If you think you can pull it off, then it might be easier than going, "Hey, we murdered your lackey. Can we please have all your information?"
Right. I mean, we can just talk to her first without mentioning any of it. And just, you're investigating, and she's sort of an interesting person. She was there today.
How can I ask? How do I investigate her without accusing her of the crime I think she did?
Well, no, we're not saying... Who would benefit from this event taking place? And right now it'd be probably the minstrel at this point. I don't know how the theater benefits or an actor benefits, but the minstrel at this point seems like the only person benefiting, or only company, I guess.
Do
benefiting from
theaters
it.
also fight with one another?
Yes.
There's this other one that opened recently.
A gaudy renovation of an opulent, nameless bar theater in the Sea Ward has been completed. Doubling up on private balconies.
Opulent sounds like very.
Well, let's see if that comes up, I
pertinent
guess.
Word.
But we should talk to Roxy at least. Unless, I could talk to Ari
we
again.
could go see the wizard in the dock ward
Yeah.
who we think made the poison,
Also that.
Yeah. He's a
and mention Roxy to him. See what
Should
he
we,
knows.
should we start there then?
sure.
All right. To the dock ward.
Okay, you head off to the dock ward. I get a resub reroll for Texas Devon.
Yeah.
I assume for my great Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, dope.
Great.
All right, so you're headed to the dock ward to
Interesting
talk to whom?
His name is...
His name is
I'm sure he
the
has
wizard.
an
Barwin, that
office
one?
that is named.
Yeah, Barwin.
Berwin?
Merwin.
And
Berwin.
where are you trying to locate him?
The place is
Dock
called...
wards.
Well, the place is...
Oh,
Night
the-
and Shadow Bar.
Yeah.
Night and Shadow. Very good. All right. So you head to the Night and Shadow. At this point, it's probably the early afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
You come cruising into the Night in Shadow. It's a 2-story tavern located in the dock ward. Everybody give me a perception check, please.
Whoop. I got a 4.
Whoa, nice.
Oh, I got 20.
20.
That's not good. 6, maybe?
Okay. So, it's a dock ward. There's a lot of hustle and bustle, and there's, kind of a slice of life of every kind of life, except there's not a lot of nobility in the dock ward just because it is a little dodgy, right? But you especially tune in, like, you're looking at, as you're going in, you're looking at the people that are going in and the people who are coming out, and there's almost like, there's a side door where people that you would consider to be untrustworthy seem to be coming in and out of. And then there's the main door that looks like it's kind of like friendly neighborhood clientele, right? But when you go in, there's one main room, and wherever that side door goes must be someplace else.
Okay.
So, it's
Do we see the wizard?
it's a decent place. There is the strange thing, or maybe the notable thing. I don't know that it's strange or not. But there's the main tavern room with the bar on the side, plenty of tables and chairs and whatnot. It looks like there's maybe some private rooms in the back. But behind the bar is a one-legged dwarf. He's got kind of a scruffy beard, and it's lunchtime, so he's kind of like slinging some beers around, and they have basically kind of like very simple bar food and whatnot. But he's like, "How can I set you up?"
We're looking for a Berwin.
You gonna order something, or?
Oh yeah, around for the 4 of us.
Ooh.
Berwin, what do you need with Berwin?
Let's say he's a friend of a friend that we need to talk to.
Okay.
He's an old friend of mine.
Haven't seen him here for a couple of days.
Maybe he's in the back.
Oh, he might be in the back. Are you saying you want to go downstairs?
Oh, downstairs sounds fun.
Yes. I think we
feel-
would like to
yeah.
go down.
There is a cover charge to go downstairs.
Is there?
Can I flash like my Thieves Guild signifier?
Oh God, not in the water.
Oh, right.
But what do you think that is under
No,
there?
no, that's fine. That's
Oh yeah.
You can.
I'm gonna say, I think it's in your best interest if you let us go for free. For free. I'll use this.
Okay.
What do you want? Persuasion, intimidation.
It sounds like an intimidation thing to me.
Okay.
Right?
I get to re-roll that.
halfling luck. Oh
Not
shit,
much
that's a
better.
2.
Not much better.
Wow.
So 14 plus 7, so 21.
21? All right. Fine. Please take advantage of our facilities. If you get in whatever business the Shadow Thieves have with Xanathar is not any of my concern.
Okay. And are we getting those drinks too, or?
He pushes 4 beers at you, just kind of stares.
Give him a little gold.
All right.
There you go.
It is
Also-
the most watery beer you've ever, like, he clearly, whatever he got out of the well for you is not anywhere near, like, quality stuff.
2 for me, great. Also, we should be wary about Xanathar because
When did I write that?
Can you roll 2d6 for me,
we
please?
kind of we're wandered.
Shit.
Yeah.
Snake eyes. Well, good news, everybody. I only lose 2 bumps.
Oh, nice. 2's better than 0.
Xanathar
Yes.
is the head of the Shadow Thieves?
No, Xanathar runs the Thieves Guild in Waterdeep. The
ones-
Shadow Thieves is the Thieves Guild from
That's
Neverwinter.
the guys we're supposed to stay away from, or you're supposed to stay away from.
No, he warned me.
Yeah, he said.
Thieves Guild and what?
Well, especially after we didn't give that one guy the when we got the map, when we did that whole heist, we didn't give him everything. He was like,
I
"You
don't
gotta
remember
watch
that.
the whole thing."
I don't remember that.
Okay, but also,
I don't.
Is something in your eye?
Oh.
but if we had done something like that, remember how we were warned to stay away?
Don't pull any shit.
I mean, I'm not gonna. We're gonna
All
go
right.
down there.
We haven't done
Grayson
anything
just kind
wrong.
of strides downstairs. And
Sure, yeah. So you go through the curtains into the back hallway. You go down the hallway, and you see a couple guys who are coming from what is clearly wherever that side door was. They're coming down the hall, and then they see you, and then they turn right around, and they walk right back out.
Really?
Yes.
Does he look scary?
He's a paladin of Torm. You guys are dressed up as actresses.
Yes, we are.
You're probably more of the normal looking, although you're probably not. You're a little overdressed for.
I'm never
For that.
overdressed. Everyone else is just underdressed.
So you go down this hallway, and you come into this small area that has a. It looks like it has basically an elevator type of thing, right? Like there's some kind of a cage thing that's mounted on ropes with pulleys and things like that. But standing in front of the ropes and pulleys are two half orcs.
Maybe we should tell them a joke.
Tell them a joke.
Okay.
I don't
Would
know.
you like to hear a joke, boys? Ava's so great at
Hey,
jokes.
Jäger, you want to hear a joke? Yeah, I want to hear a joke, Finch. Let's hear what the broads have to say.
Okay, it's a really good one. How do you get holy water?
You have the priest bless it, you do a prayer over it, or you go to your alchemist shop.
You boil the hell out of it.
It's so funny.
Thank you.
You boil the hell. Did you get that, Finch? Oh, I got it. You boil the hell out of it. How do you get unholy water? Take a piss.
You know what? I have an extra beer. Why don't I give it to you?
Ooh, we ain't supposed to drink on the job. Thank you.
And one for you, my friend.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers to you. Enjoy.
Going down, party of four, is that right?
That's right.
All right, off you go then.
Take it easy,
Pulls
boys.
the cage open, and you guys get inside and closes it up.
Pulls
and
the
then-
cage
Nice.
open?
Those guys were nice.
then you,
done, Ava.
then, you,
thanks.
then you just hear him shout like, "Coming down!" And then they begin working the ropes, and the whole thing kind of like with a start. You know, they pull like some sort of like wooden blocks or something like that, like wooden beams out from underneath this thing, and the whole thing kind of goes boom, and then and they lower you down. You go down. You'd guess it's probably 40 to 60 feet, something like that. Okay. And you emerge into a second level of the bar. So you can see that there's a lone orc. Now this is a full-blooded orc sitting down there. He's like,
Oh, man, yeah. Welcome to the Down Shadow. You're gonna need that sword. You might want to cover up. Ladies, you're left to your own recognizance.
and you come out, go down the hallway, and you can see that there's just like as there was above. There's a set of private rooms that come off of the hallway, and then you come into this large tavern area that's roughly the same size as what it was upstairs, but here the clientele is completely different, right? So there's orcs, there's tieflings, there's drow. It's a real sort of mishmash of people who would not want to be seen on the surface world. And there is an albino dwarf who is working the back counter there. But he has kind of like strange, distorted features, right?
Hello.
That will be
4 ales for me and my friends, please.
4 ales, you got it.
And maybe a little more gold for some information.
I'll go for some information. Yeah. What kind of information are you looking for? Depends upon how much gold you might need to spend.
We're looking for a man named Berwin.
A man named Berwin. Oh, yeah. It'll cost you 5 gold.
Oof. All right, 5 gold it is.
Berwin. He was in here 3 days ago. Met with a lady.
A lady? And what did she
Yeah.
look like?
Yeah, she wore a big purple cloak.
Was she tall, short? Race maybe you saw? You've seen a lot of
was,
races.
She was medium size, I would say, but very broad.
Medium size, very broad. So
Yeah.
maybe, what do you think? A large human? Maybe a
Yeah, large human. I've seen large humans. I would have said large human if I thought she was a large human. She was curiously broad.
curiously broad. Interesting.
Any other distinguishing features like scales or horns or?
Well, I did mention she wore a purple cloak, right?
She
I
have
don't
any sort
feel
of
like it was 100% real.
the cloak?
I saw it flicker a little bit.
Flicker.
Yeah, it fit her form sort of odd-like.
And she met with Berwin, and maybe you know what.
She met with Berwin. She met with a bunch of his buddies, some regulars down here who run a line of credit, which they almost never catch up on. But shortly after she shot to them, they sure caught up quick, didn't they?
Really? Any of those fellows around right now?
No, they took off a couple of days. What was it? They took off yesterday. I haven't seen them back since.
What were
Did
their
the-
names?
Their names? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked about that.
Oh no.
I have a piece of paper here where their names was written down.
There's no
That's
written down there,
stuck in my
fingers.
book. Yeah. Their names were Theodore and Pronder and Alperand and Vigdis. Yeah. Oh, hey, Vigdis. That was the guy. Oh, Vigdis. Delicious soul.
What was that guy's first name?
Theodore.
No, the second one, Invictus.
Pronder.
Any idea where they went, or where we could find them?
They usually end up back here eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Wait, did the woman have any sort of special tool, like maybe, I don't know, like a mechanical quill or anything that stood out
No.
like that?
Mechanical quill.
No, like a quill that never runs out of ink, writes on.
No.
No?
No. Listen, I'm just a barkeep. If you're looking for somebody who knows the ins and outs of what goes on down here in the down shadow, you might want to talk to a fella named Mortos.
Mortos.
Yeah, Mortos.
Is he around?
He's not the drinking type.
Oh,
He frequents bars. He does not drink in bars.
What does he do?
Talks mostly.
oh.
A
Well,
bit of
we'd,
a chatter.
we'd love to chat with him, I think. Any idea where we could find him?
Well, he's usually the kind of guy that finds you. So you might go down to the square outside.
Uh-huh.
You're going to find, the friendly way of saying it is you're going to find some urchins, right? They all end up down here eventually. Pay an urchin a silver, tell them you're looking for Mortos. Mortos eventually shows up.
All right. Just like that.
Well, that's how the network works down here.
Very curious. Well, thank you so much. Have a little more for your trouble. And pass him 2 more gold.
I appreciate that very much. I didn't catch any of your names. Is it important?
I don't think so.
Grayson Hale.
Oh. Okay.
Very good, Sir Knight.
Grayson Hill and friends. We'll be on our way. Thank you so much.
Please.
What was your name? Did we get that?
My name. My name is Bedweir.
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 All right. Well, very nice to meet you. Hope we meet again, Bedweir.
That's weird. That's a bit weird.
All right. Let's head back up unless we see anything curious in this room or anybody curious.
Well, I mean, there's an exit that leads out further into the Underdark portion of. When he says, like, go out to the square, he points out the door.
I thought he meant upstairs.
Not upstairs.
Oh.
He points out the door.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Have any of us been to the Underdark?
No.
Probably not.
Underwater deep? No.
Yeah. Okay. All
Not
right.
that I've
But we
told
probably.
you.
Oh right. Yeah.
Stop.
Doppel dude here.
Doppeldude.
But have we probably heard stories and stuff, right? I'm sure about
I
the
mean, it
Underdark.
might be similar to the one under Neverwinter.
You might know something about it. You wouldn't be able to navigate it. Let's
Right.
put it that
But
way.
it's not like
Right.
we're not like afraid of it or anything like right. We're not like oh no the Underdark or are we just like oh just another place.
I don't know how to answer that for you, like what your attitude is. I'm sure in Neverwinter there's like a secret like underground kind of like sewers and wine cellars connected, kind of network of passageways and tunnels and things like that.
Okay.
And certainly Avril would know that that's where all the dirty work goes on, right? So if you want to do something that's outside of the law, that's where you go to do it. If you want to operate kind of a completely different black market or smuggling trade, that's where people typically go and do it.
Okay.
And especially from looking around at the clientele down here, it's very obvious that Waterdeep is far more connected to the Underdark than you guys are used to in your neck of the woods. Because even just seeing the fact that there's 2 drow having a conversation with a lizard man is weird to you. Like most lizard folk are not friendly in the first place or civilized,
Right.
and that the fact that they're having a conversation with 2 drow, it's sort of been drummed into you that drow are all to a person evil, out to subjugate all the surface races as quickly and diabolically as they can, and yet they're just sitting there having a beer, and it looks like they're talking about who knows what trading stock is
Sure.
on some sort of goods and merchandise that they're moving.
We got a pleasant encounter so far, so I'm nothing to afraid of. We just do what they ask so far. Go out there and toss a silver in the fountain. At least
All right.
I would. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Sure. So you go out. You do kind of catch some looks from people out here.
The 6'2" man in armor, wearing
Yeah.
the symbol of Torm.
Yeah,
just looks
absolutely.
down.
Like they look at you and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give this guy some room," and you see a couple people kind of like peel off and go their own way, and even one thing that's notable to you is you don't really see like groups of 4 like you're in. You either see a group of 12, like a pack of dudes who are all kind of like rolling together as a crew, or you see kind of onesie-twosie type people who seem to be kind of on their own and trying to avoid whatever trouble, get to wherever they want to go kind of as quickly and as directly as they can, right? You come out into this it's not a large cavern, you come out into this space that looks like it must have been mined out or chiseled out by dwarves, right? It's a decent cut of stonework. It's a large underground space. The ceilings are not particularly tall, but the walls are well worked, and in places there's actually like floor tiles of quartz, and it looks like maybe even like mason's blocks that are built up. Although then you look at them closely and you realize that somebody just actually chiseled the mortar lines in, and it's all one solid piece of stone.
But yeah, you go out into the square, and there is in fact a fountain there. It doesn't have like water gushing out of it; just has water sitting in it, and it's this old, kind of decrepit statue in the center of it of a dwarf holding, kind of like leaning on a war hammer and staring off into the distance and with a kind of a contemplative look on his face, right? But around the fountain, excuse me.
Whoa, bless you.
Thank you. Around the fountain are milling any number of street urchin, basically beggar children, right? Probably, generally kind of teenager type, 13, 14 years old, dressed in not particularly great mode of clothes, and they all look a little bit bored. It looks like some of them are kind of like gossiping with each other or whatnot. They kind of like say something as you guys come walking out, and one of them was like, no, it's my turn. And like, hey, you need a message? You need anybody to run a message?
Yeah. One, we're looking for Martos. I hand him a silver.
Oh, Mordos, huh? Okay, all right. We can take care of that. I'll be back. Just wait here.
How close are we to the fountain?
How close would you like to be?
Right next to it? Well, most of us right next
I mean,
to
when
it.
you approach them, you're probably within 10 feet of it if you want to get closer. It's not like there's a huge crowd of
I more want to know how close they are.
them.
10 feet, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere between 10 and 15
Milling
feet.
around.
Okay.
What?
I'm gonna sit down on the fountain's edge.
Oh, you're going to sit down on the fountain?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to use shape water to move the water up and splash him.
All right. So you sit down, and all of a sudden there's this kind of like schloop.
And I'm on the other side, and I'm just going.
Your pony.
Who could have done that? Water just jumped out of the fountain.
He takes out his blade and destroys it.
Destroys the fountain.
Motherfucker!
How do you develop
What a
this
strange
rage?
thing for water to do.
Ava.
Yes?
Oh, what?
Of all the people to narc?
Yeah. Ava, did you see that strange water?
Oh, yes, that is so weird. Why would water do that?
I don't
It's so
know.
weird.
It must be something down here because I've never seen water do that before.
What the fuck is happening?
Is this normal for underground places?
I don't know, not that I know of, but maybe.
Weird water.
She's just being playful.
What?
She's just being playful.
I don't know
Oh,
what you're talking about.
yeah. Who?
It's
Who?
a weird
Me?
fountain. Must be enchanted.
Yeah, it's a weird fountain.
All right.
the fuck?
So this transpires. No more than maybe 10 minutes goes by, and the kid comes back. He's like, "Oh yeah, you want to meet with Mordos? He's over the Devil's Court.
The Devil's Court?
That sounds like a bad
That's what they
place.
call it.
Yeah.
What kind of place is that?
It's old courtyard.
Oh, it's a courtyard. I see. In that direction over there?
Yeah. So, you go down that tunnel, and then you take your first dry right, not the first right, but your first dry right, and then you keep going straight down, and you turn left. There's going to be a grate kind of hanging, a busted grate. Turn left at the busted grate, and go about another 200 feet. Opens up in the Devil's Court.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
What was your name?
My name's Marty.
Oh.
Marty finding Martos. That's interesting.
Unfucking-used.
Okay, well, if you need anything else, just let me know. You can ask for me. I'm Marty.
All right, Marty.
I don't just find M people. I find,
And
all kinds of
people.
stuff.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I just it's a funny coincidence, right? You don't think that's funny?
I'm sorry.
It's pretty funny.
He's not very funny. He's not funny.
He's not. I thought it was funny.
No.
Thank you for your help, Marty. Watch out for this
If
fountain.
my name was Morty, it might be funny.
Hey, watch out for
My name's
this.
Marty. Marty and
Yes.
Mordos are two different
Now, Morty,
things.
that's funny.
Marty,
That's funny too.
once again, thank you for helping us. I watch out for this fountain. There's something strange about
Oh
the
my
water.
It's a weird fountain. Don't get too close or anything.
Oh, yeah. Why? Did you guys see the ghost?
What the?
Fuck yes.
There's a ghost?
He's just kidding, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What kind of ghost?
Ogren Iron Hands.
That moves
Auger?
the water?
Ogren.
Ogren Iron Hands.
Yeah. Go.
Oh.
He
Are you
haunts
talking
the fountain?
Is that the dwarf?
Yeah, that's who the statue is.
Oh.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What else do you know about Ogren?
Well, he's supposed to be the guy who, he was the guy who led this whole project, who carved the whole place out.
Really?
Yeah, it was a dwarven settlement underneath the original city, and they never finished it, and apparently they got cursed and it flooded.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, stuff happens.
Stuff does happen. Yes, we'll be on our way.
Water is very powerful.
So are ghosts.
But what kind of ghost stuff does he do? Like, what's he do?
Well, I mean, they say that he exacts his revenge by snatching people.
Kidnapping them?
Yeah, they just disappeared.
When was the last time somebody got snatched?
Well, there's Jeremiah. Jeremiah just disappeared, like 6-7 months ago.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they say the ghost got him, but look, I don't mean to be, I'm not naive, right? Anybody could have got him.
But you...
It's a convenient excuse.
Oh, sure.
Fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's the harm in, like, make a little offering
Offering.
To the ghost.
to Ogren, to the ghost?
Right.
It's like, who knows? It's not like ghosts aren't real, right? Ghosts are real, aren't they?
Definitely.
Okay.
So.
What's he want? What's the ghost want?
He likes beer. He's like,
He
when
wants
he
me to pour beer in there?
pour beer in the fountain.
I
It's
run,
just something you
I
do.
run, go get a beer.
Okay.
I pour it in there.
Okay. And when you do that, give me a perception check.
Ghostbusting now.
I have one bump.
One bump.
One bump.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not ideal. I have a reroll. I want to sense this ghost. So 12?
12.
Well, 13 with the bump.
Okay. 13. So when you do this, you do hear just like this low, almost like barely perceptible.
Okay.
And you feel
Oh, God.
like a hand on your shoulder just for a moment, just like grip your shoulder. And it kind of turns and points you in the direction that he pointed towards the Devil's Court.
What is it, Avril?
Nothing.
You look like you've seen...
Shut up.
Uh,
Shut up. No. Shut up.
You guys are funny.
I know, right?
I'm funny.
Funny trick.
You're
funny
not
trick.
He's not funny. Remember?
Okay.
Funny, not funny.
Sometimes he's funny
I
though.
didn't narc on you.
You're the worst daughter.
I don't know what that means.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So despite the bizarre directions that Marty gives you, you especially with you as a ranger, you walk right there. You're like, oh, okay. Well, you go past a number of passages that are clearly flooded. The stink down here is terrible because you
Ugh.
are literally maybe just slightly above or slightly below, you're not sure which, Waterdeep's sewer system,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
So the smell is horrid, but you go past a couple, damp passageways that are in various stages of flood, and then you find the first dry one, and you take a right on that, and then you go down, and then you come to one that has a broken grate hanging over it. You take a left there, and head down that one, and you come into a large courtyard that has a number of carved stone pillars that reach from floor to ceiling. And there is a marble bench
and you see a very short, scrawny-looking halfling guy sitting there with a pocket knife, kind of, just picking his fingernails. And standing in the shadows, just barely perceptible, you see a tall, 6 foot tall, what you'd guess is a tiefling figure with red kind of glowing eyes and big black gnarled horns, just sort of standing in the shadow observing, right? You sitting there.
Thanks.
Hello?
I heard you're looking for mortals.
We are.
What do you need?
Information.
Information. Information is valuable. Information costs money. And do you have money? I have information.
Do we look like we don't have money?
I've seen people better dressed than you who are broke as F.
Fair point, but we do have money. Do you have information?
I do have information.
Do you...
5 gold a question, depending upon what kind of information you're looking for. If it's rare, if it's exotic, then of course the price is more.
I think it's pretty easy information for a man like you. It's just a person or persons, and maybe their location. First, a Berwyn.
Berwyn. You're looking for Berwyn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Yeah, that's so. That's 5 gold.
Right.
Listen, how about a family discount?
Family discount.
I'll show my D-skill stuff. I don't know. What do I have? I got like a cloak, right? I imagine it has some sort of emblem or clasp or something.
All right.
Where would it be?
You've got like a black like velvet cloak, right?
Yeah.
That initiated you into the
But even if I
shadow.
had maybe a symbol that like a FBI, I could be like,
Sure.
so there's a
All right.
patch in here.
Give me.
Okay,
Are you
no,
trying to persuade or are you trying to intimidate?
Persuade.
Okay.
Seduce.
I mean, constantly. Constantly. Well, fuck, that's a 10. I don't have anything else.
Shimmickson does give the table a bump.
Yeah.
So
Dope.
that's happening.
Well, I want to re-roll then.
Do you have any left?
Huh?
Do you have any
So
left?
you got a what? You got a what total?
10.
10.
Oh.
He looks at you. He says, "That's trouble. I don't know. What do you think, boss?" And the tiefling steps out and he says, "That's enough, Brimble. So you're looking for Berwyn. Well, Berwyn's a man in demand these days. Perhaps I can give you some information about Berwyn. You can give me..."
Uh-oh.
In the Underdark.
You can give me some information.
About what? You don't even know who we are. How would you know what information we have?
I assume a man like this already knows everything about us.
I know that. I'm ignorance.
Okay.
Why?
I don't like. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't particularly like the game of all of this, so I apologize if I seem crass.
I understand that you're a man of simple tastes. Straightforward action. You're a man who doesn't believe in deals and deception. You believe in principles. That's foolish, but I respect your limited worldview.
Oh.
I'm willing to help you out if you're willing to help me out.
No.
I'm
Go-
looking
go on.
for a copy of a certain map that was recently viewed over at the Zora Star. If you could provide that for me, I might be able to provide you with the information you're seeking.
I mean, that's a pretty big ask, I think, compared to what we want.
I mean, you're saying this information you have is in high demand. I would say our shit's in highest fucking demand.
The most high of demands.
So sweeten the pot.
What else are you looking for besides some information about Bearwin?
We have some other names and the names of the people, the other people that she wrote down, I think.
Also, the purple cloak lady.
Oh, yes. Yes. I guess we don't know much about her, but we can ask about her.
With the flicker in appearance, she could be anybody.
Right. A lady.
You're right, Fane could be anybody.
Hey, what?
Fane?
Thane?
Fane, the woman in the purple cloak.
What the fuck?
Yes, she always appears that way. It's sort of her signature mode of dress, although there's much speculation that is not her true form.
All right.
You can do that.
Sure, I can, but probably not like her. All right.
Do you have any thoughts on her true form? Any ideas?
I have thoughts, I have ideas. What I'd like is a little bit of substantiation.
What is this map and why? I mean,
Should we learn about the map?
No.
I don't think
No.
we have. I don't think some of us have to.
Well, I mean,
What?
what is this map even of? Like, what information could it possibly contain?
Do you guys,
That's a fine question. Some say it's a surveyor's copy of the Grey Peak Mountains, but scuttlebutt around town that there's much more valuable and hidden information contained within.
did you guys steal a map?
No, we didn't.
We did not steal a map. Ranger's honor.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, fine. I'm not going to ask any more questions that I don't actually want the answers to.
Great idea.
Can we still pay gold for this information in trade instead, or?
Oh, yes, if you'd like to pay gold, I'm happy to pay gold. However, allow me to engage in a brief proposition which I think you may find interesting. There are certain city authorities, some might say lords of Waterdeep, who are very interested in protecting the contents of this map. And there are rumors that members of Xanathar's gang have somehow procured a copy of this map. This has caused great consternation amongst the lords, and they are very frustrated by the ineptitude of their watch in bringing the offenders to justice. But apparently, a set of false leads and dead-end trails has been arranged for their finest investigators, and they have yet to come upon exactly who or what or where the offending parties are and what their identities might be. Now, those dead-end trails will eventually turn up something, whether that turns up the guilty party or perhaps some convenient patsies who recently arrived on a ship at Waterdeep Harbor. Well, those are two distinctly different outcomes.
Let's say this map just magically returned to where it was supposed to be.
Oh, the map is where it's supposed to be.
Oh, but
The map has been copied.
No. Wrong.
What?
What?
Are you saying that out loud to him?
We didn't copy it.
Yeah, you made a copy of it.
No, she made a mental copy,
Yeah, but then you drew it and
but not completely. It was missing where the crater was.
all right.
Can I not leave you two alone for a few days?
It was our honeymoon. We want to do something exciting.
It was fun. Lots of memories.
It doesn't sound like they did anything wrong.
We didn't. We didn't steal anything. I wasn't lying. We didn't steal anything.
You see, Ava, there's truth and there's lie, but there's also statements in the middle.
That's not true.
It's not. It seems true.
True.
That'd be that gray area between the truth and lie.
All right.
Who are you? Are you Mortos? That situation?
Yes, I'm sorry I didn't properly introduce myself. Brimble serves as my decoy when I'm unsure of who exactly a new client might be, or more accurately, what their intentions might be. But since you've come to the down shadow looking for Fane, I expect that your association with the authorities must be somewhat tenuous at best.
So what do you want with the map?
I'd like a perfect copy of it.
That's not what I asked. What do you want with it?
I'm curious exactly what is contained within it. Like I said, I make arrangements down here in the Underdark. I know things. I trade in contacts. I trade in information. I'm a fixer. Well, seems like a valuable asset to have at one's disposal.
And one of the things you fixed were our dead ends that were going to lead to either the arrest of some new arrivals that were going to take our place, or they would go nowhere.
Well, of course, those news arrivals would be put on trial and they might be found innocent, but that could be months from now. Who knows what their punishment might be, if anything.
I mean, that doesn't really seem like a solution.
No, it doesn't seem like a solution for a group of innocents to be held accountable for the actions of others.
That doesn't seem good.
It's more of a
And
solution.
if they are found innocent, then they're just going to be looking for somebody else anyway. Not much of a fixer, are you?
Well, if you're looking for a more permanent solution, I'm sure I can arrange one. But that's going to cost you a favor.
Permanent solution. All right.
Weren't we here to ask some questions?
Yeah.
Well, but you
Ava.
can't ask him any until we give him something.
The thing is, you and I didn't enter this room with all of the information that our other compatriots had. And now basically, we came in here for a simple deal, but the deal is getting more complicated and less of an exchange of money for information, and now an exchange of favors and information in exchange for the personal freedom of Thawne and Avril.
Can I talk to my friends over here for a second? Just give us a moment.
Be my guest.
Okay. We don't know where this map really leads. It leads something important to a lot of people, but we don't know what it is. We know it's probably dangerous if it gets in the wrong hands. We don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
We can reproduce it. She can, anyways. But we don't know what that means. We don't know if we're putting more lives in danger by giving them the map than not.
No, we're not doing that. We're not leaving this man.
Okay,
We shouldn't put lives in danger.
perfect. But I mean, he's also threatening.
Well, it is
that the-
just like out in the wilderness. It's just mountains. It's not like a bunch of people out there to hurt.
Yeah,
I know, but-
it's just like a sword. What could happen if
Listen,
one of us
I did
wield-
not back that fucking
I
endorsement.
know.
See how that feels? But look,
What? He did it to you. He was making
I
a
know.
jab at you.
I know, but
That did not
But
hurt me
towards
in
this
any
way.
way.
Okay, great.
Nope. We were having a moment.
Against me.
Yes, indeed.
But what if the map isn't really that? Maybe it's a code or a key to something else.
It's
It's all
whatever it
thieves'
is.
cant and such, you know? I don't know how it works.
Well, I
I don't-
know how that works.
Whatever it is, it can't go to anyone.
But what about those dead ends? Those people that are going to take our place and possibly the noose for us? I mean, we
Can
don't know
I-
them, but
Can I kind of like see the map in my mind?
Oh
And-
yeah,
and
when,
use-
when you conjure it up in your brain, like it comes in vivid detail to you.
Well, can I use my thieves' cant on it to see if there is any secret signs or symbols or messages in the map?
All right. Well, this seems like an ideal time to invoke a flashback to your training in Neverwinter.
Ooh.
So why don't you describe that scene for us where you may have studied code breaking or analysis or whatever that would help give you special insight that would now apply here.
So during this time, we kind of get a little bit of like book reading on it up to that point, but then the day of the exam, we just get locked in a room,
Okay.
and there's like 3 or 4 of us in the room, and then we have to go around the room and decipher all these different, written codes or that are on.
So
parchment and-
your teacher is there, and his name is Sinagar.
Okay.
Avril, I gotta tell you, I'm concerned about your ability to decipher this stuff. You're not a numbers person.
Well,
You spend all your time socializing. You spend all your time learning the charms and graces of deception and double talk. You don't ever apply your mind in a logical fashion.
I just think that the practicality of those socially related skills are much more valuable than, how many times am I gonna, this isn't the 1200s. I'm not gonna need to do this stuff. It's just not gonna be relevant to
I
my
know
line of
you
work.
believe that, right? I know that you enjoy a certain part of your training, and I know that you enjoy a certain aspect of this lifestyle. The part that allows you to talk a man out of his money, the part of it that allows you to swindle a shopkeep so that you can get a discount or walk away with free goods while your friends run the store. But I'm telling you, there's more to this life than just being a petty crook. And if you really want to ascend, you'll do your diligence, you'll study, you'll learn your craft, and you'll become a master thief instead of just a sweet talking face out to score that afternoon's free drinks.
Fine.
You failed the test. Go back and study. Do it again. Cut to. You failed the test. Go back. Study. Do it again. Cut to. You failed the test. Go back. Study. Do it again. "16 times you take this test. You are literally about to tear your hair out. You turn it in. You feel like you've crossed all of the T's, dotted all of the I's, put the curly Q on the Q. And Sinagar looks at you and he says, "Finally, thank God." Avril, you're a delightful student. You are a joy to have around. You bring an effervescence into the atmosphere, which is sometimes hard to contain, but it keeps everybody's spirits up. But if I was going to have to give you this test one more time, you were drummed out. Congratulations. You passed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't thank me. You did the work. Cut back to you bring up the image of the map in your mind. So give me, you now have advantage on this check. Give me a perception check. You're looking for something hidden.
Oh, so 16.
Okay. It is +0. You don't have anything else?
That was with the plus.
Okay. All right. So with 16, you know that there must be something odd or unusual about this thing. You zoom in on the crater, and you know that it says something about. You know that there was an inscription in there that said, "This is where the gods fell." But you look at the crater and you think that there might be like a city inside the crater. And as you look at the map, you can see that the city is like a giant cylinder embedded inside of the crater. And you can see things moving around inside of it, like people walking around inside these huge structures and the vast circular hallways and whatnot. And there are little guard stations mounted around the edge, the rim of the crater, that look like they're outposts, specifically set up to keep people away. And at the very bottom of the city, you can see a little label that just says Tomb of the Godfire. And you're not sure what that is, but you assume something called Godfire must be incredibly powerful.
Who did we already give this to?
The map? We gave it to the guy who hired us to heist it, but we didn't give him the crater.
That's right.
We gave him everything but the crater. I don't remember his name. You might have it written down, but wasn't it Clumpy Clump?
Yeah. Fine. I'll give you the map if you give us the information we want.
Very good.
And how do I know you're good on your word? How do I know you even have the valuable information that we need?
You're looking for the location of Fane, is that correct? The woman in purple? I can arrange a meeting with her. I will not arrange a direct meeting between you and her because I would not betray a client that way or my influence that way. But I have an associate who has business with her, and I can arrange a meeting between that associate and her. If you then choose to confront her at that time and location, that, of course, is not something I am in control of or responsible for.
And what about Berwyn?
Berwyn.
I mean, if we have Thane, we don't need Berwyn. He's a hired gun.
It wouldn't hurt. I want my bang for my fucking buck.
He has gone to ground. I believe the bang for your buck is you give me the map and I make sure that the City Watch does not pursue any promising leads.
That's also pretty good.
Without implicating some poor suckers.
We don't want anybody to die in our place.
And I mean, additionally, if they do get proven innocent, it comes back to us. That's not a solution.
Like I said, I'll make sure that they don't pursue any leads that turn out to be too promising. I will also make sure that no one dies in your stead.
Or is imprisoned eternally, or what? You know what we mean.
No one will be eternally imprisoned in your stead.
This seems like a good deal.
All right. Where's your paper?
Brimble, fetch the parchment.
So, looking at the map, how are like other things on the map labeled?
In terms of, what do you mean?
Like, what is kind of like things that are labeled? What are they all called? Or is there any sort of like, if I was gonna try to relabel the crater in a way that it kind of blended in with the rest of the map?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, you'd have to make some sort of deception check, right?
okay.
Because you're covering over the information that he wants,
Yeah.
right? So, all right.
And what I want to try to do is like fill in the crater as if it's just another one of the mountain peaks,
Mm-hmm.
but label it something that would fit in with the other things that are being labeled.
Okay.
Maybe something vague, like I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm going to use my bumps as well.
Why did you guys give him this? How could you?
How dare you?
How dare
They're
you?
so distracted by the dog.
So cute.
All right. So,
Ladies first.
I've got 3 bumps. That is a 17.
It's not terrible.
Fucking cock. 12.
Okay.
How do I have a plus 10 and I always roll a fucking 2 with this shit? So frustrating.
Ugh. Why did I use my reroll on a ghost? Oh, I have rerolls from last week. I have I have 3 of them
3 rerolls from last week?
Wow.
because I have 2 from the week before that, and I got 1 last week, and I've never used them. And you said they could roll over. That's why I wrote them down.
Okay. Most awards don't roll over from week to week, but
You told me they could.
you can use these 3.
Take the
Is
yes.
this a track?
No.
A track? A trip? Oh wait,
Is it
hold
a
on.
track?
A trick? This is what I'm trying to say.
What does this say?
What does this say? Oh, babbling luck. Hold on.
God.
This dice. Okay, 26.
All right. So after some struggle, you managed to produce another counterfeit copy of the map.
How many times can we
Hold
do
on,
this?
I messed this up. I messed this one up.
How many times can we fake this map?
At least I put something there this time.
No, yeah.
Dover Hankins.
Thanks for the sub, Dover Hankins.
So much.
All right. So, Mortos says, allow me to contact my associates and arrange a meeting. I appreciate your cooperation. I'm fairly certain that the riot in the theater, not certain about the poisoning, but the riot for sure was arranged by Fane. She is a known trickster for hire. She worships a god named Bishaba, who is the goddess of misfortune. Yes, poisoning doesn't seem to be her M.O., but she is most likely responsible for the rioting. Whether she did that of her own accord or was hired to create this, you'd have to confront her about. So I will arrange a meeting between my associate and her, and I will get back to you. Since you are investigating this matter, however, I do have a personal stake in this, which I wish to share with you, and perhaps you can do me an additional favor. There's someone who, within the past couple of months, has begun competing with some of the local poisoners in town, undercutting everyone's prices. The market is beginning to crash, and some of my longtime associates who provide medicines of the darker sort are not very happy with the lifestyle that they're leading or the current income that they're making. If whoever produced this poison that was involved in the theatrics upstairs, if the trail happens to lead somewhere promising that might reveal who's actually behind this sudden downturn in the price of poisons here in Waterdeep, I should be most grateful if you would point out just exactly who they might be so that my friends can pay a visit and get them inducted into the guild so that, well, we make sure that fees are appropriate for what is being delivered. The market returns to normalcy, as it were.
Yeah, I wouldn't want poison to be too expensive. Too cheap.
Cheap. Yes, that's the problem. If it's too cheap, well, then the price of death is worth no more than the price of life.
What? Wow. Ugh. Anyway.
Enjoy your treasure hunt, or whatever that map is for. And just, I guess, let us know via informant or however you want to contact us, how we get to this meeting.
Very good. Wait by the fountain. I'm sure Morty will have news for you shortly.
You mean Marty?
Hmm? No. The blonde one or the dark-haired one?
I believe you had dark hair?
No. The blonde one is Morty. That's the one that I use. Who have you been talking to?
Marty.
You said it was Marty.
Oh, Marty. Marty and Morty. Those two boys are in league together. I see how it is. Splitting the silvers. Crafty.
It makes your joke funnier.
It does. Thank you for recognizing that. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so you head back to the fountain. Roughly an hour later, what did I say?
Blonde was Marty.
Yeah.
No, the blonde is Morty.
Blonde is Morty.
Yeah, blonde-haired boy shows up and like, you got us found out.
But, I didn't know there was a thing to be found out, to be fair. I
know, Morty screwed it up.
Oh, okay, good.
Wait, Morty.
You're Morty.
Oh my god.
Okay, I don't understand.
Are they standing by the fountain?
Yeah.
I want to shape water at that. Whatever it is. Yep.
Oh, shit, it's the ghost! It's the ghost! It's the ghost! Okay. That's what I get for screwing around. Fair enough. Mordo's talked to me. He says that his friend is going to meet Fane at a place called the Chip Cup in 1 hour.
The Chip Cup?
Yeah.
And that's down here somewhere.
No, that's up top.
Oh, that's up top.
Yeah. That's in the South Ward. So I'm sorry, but not an hour. In the next 15 minutes.
What?
You're going to have to hustle.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. I got here as quick as I could.
All right, we gotta go. We gotta bounce now. We gotta go. There's like a shortcut over there. No, let's just go.
We need
Let's just
someone
go.
that could open the portal.
All right. Very good. So, with 15 minutes on the clock to get to the meeting with Fane and the other associate at the Chip Cup, we are going to cliffhanger it there, everyone.
No!
We will pick this up next week in our chase across Waterdeep to get to the Chip Cup. So, very good. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been the Ironkeep Chronicles. Let's hear it for Mr. Eric Reichert.
Hey, everyone. My name's Eric, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at mostly shit.
Oh, very good. Hey, who's going to TwitchCon this weekend? Is it Havana Mahoney?
It me. I'm going to TwitchCon. We're doing a panel on Friday at 6 o'clock. Is that right, Tom?
Yep.
Friday at 6 o'clock in the Cool Cat Theater. That's how you know it's a cool panel. It's in the Cool Cat Theater. So
Cool
it's gonna be
Cat.
me and Boring Will Tyler and Dom Zuck.
That's me, just calling him out like that.
Well, I'm an asshole, so. It's going to be us talking about tabletop gaming for fun and profit. So please come and hang out for that. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to be streaming at the Intel Pod Stream Zone on Saturday at 5 to 6:30. So you can come hang around that area if you want. I'm not sure. I assume you could see me through a glass or something like a zoo animal. But I'm not sure.
Are you in like a cryogenic sphere or something
I don't
like
know.
that?
Like
or-
they call it a pod.
Yeah.
I hope it's an egg.
Are
I
you
hope it's a glass egg.
are you playing something, or are you just
yeah,
talking?
I'll be playing Evil Within 2. So.
Oh.
Well, suspended in some fluid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a gel,
right.
in a cryostasis gel. But if you aren't at TwitchCon, you can also catch that live on my channel at twitch.tv/Havana_Rama, and you can follow me on Twitter, Havana Rama, and tune in for the extra live stream, 27th to the 28th. I'm running a Scooby-Doo game.
10 days from now.
Oh my god. I'm running a Scooby-Doo game that's going to be really great. It's from 12:30 a.m., so just barely into the 28th until 4:30 a.m. It's really late, but it's going to be great and really fun. Dom's on it. Omar Najam's on it. Who else do we get on? Vince Casso's on it. And, I'm forgetting a Becca Scott's on it. And someone else. So tune in for that. It's going to be great. That's
Awesome. Grav Galati!
I will also be at TwitchCon all weekend, hanging out with Dom and Havana and everybody else. So hit me up on Twitter. I'm at DoubleGXG if you guys want to hang out. And also, let's see, what else can I talk about? We have a podcast. Me, Megan, and Jordan have a podcast. It's great. We just released episode 4.
We
this
did.
week, right?
Yeah, on Tuesday.
I always forget because we have alternating weeks because we released early to Patreon backers of $10 and up. You get it early 1 week. Next week we're going to release a Halloween episode. We're actually going to release it early for both, actually.
Yeah.
I think Patreon will be Tuesday and then maybe Thursday for regular release, just so you guys get it before Halloween. That'll be fun. And I'm also going to be on the Extra Life Marathon. I'm doing the 9 a.m. game on Saturday morning on the 28th. My game is a Ravenloft 5e game called Strahd Must Die, where they're basically going to run the end of Curse of Strahd, just the castle, and they have to kill Strahd within the 4 hours, or they die. So we'll see what happens.
Are you giving them pre-gens? Are they making their own characters?
I'll make them make level 9 characters of their choosing,
Oh, okay.
however they want to,
All right.
with standard array or whatever, but they have to find the weapons and the stuff in the castle, the 3 relics or whatever. We'll see what happens. Maybe they will, maybe they won't.
Tom's stressed out.
Tom doesn't like that
No,
idea at all.
it's not that I don't like that idea. It's just I remember adventuring through that castle when I
Oh.
played through the adventure in Adventurers League.
I'm not doing the castle as written because it's crazy and it'll take 400 hours to get
Yeah.
through it all. It'll be a condensed version.
I think there was a thing where I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it, so there's not spoilers. But it was there's so much crazy
There's
cursed
so
stuff
much-
in that castle.
so much good weird stuff.
Just a big
Anyways.
F you to the players. You thought you were cool. You're wrong.
Yeah. Eric's in that game, Jordan Pridgeon, Amy Vorpal's in that game, and Tyler Rhodes. So that is my playing crew for that game. 9 a.m. on the 28th.
Boom boom. Megan Caves Caliban.
Thank you. You can follow me on Twitter at Megan Caves. And yes, we have our podcast coming out. Also,
MEGHAN.
MEGHAN. Mm-hmm.
Caves.
And we have wild cards that Gaurav and Dom playing, but they're not going to be there this Friday because they're at TwitchCon, like they just said. But we will still have wild cards on Friday, 8 p.m. It's our Savage Worlds game. Should be interesting this week. Doing some sort of flashback type thing, if you want to check that out. And what else? Oh yeah, the Extra Life Marathon actually starts with wild cards, and it will be a Halloween theme. It'll be 4 hours. We will go till midnight. So should be interesting.
At midnight, the tree hangs someone. We'll find out who.
That's all it's going to be. It's just he's going to hang all of us, the whole cast. We're
Good.
gonna make new characters after that.
Blurred.
Tune in. Yeah.
Last time there was a tree in Wild Cards, my character had a heart attack and laid on the ground the entire fight.
You were the first one who got to see that tree. So that tree's coming back.
It's coming back for you, Eric. It's coming back for you.
Don't
I
come
forgot
and join
about
us
that.
on Wild Cards at any point.
Well, I've played Wild Cards twice, and I've had a heart attack and not fought once, and then once died in a cave. So,
So it's on par with your appearances in Monday Night Dungeon Fight. Hey everyone, I have a improv show that I'm doing on Saturday night in Los Feliz at the Impro Studio Theater. I will be doing episode 3 of Swords and Sorcery Cursed, where we're playing a Ravenloft version of our Dungeons & Dragons improvised show with the bearded men over at Impro Studio Theater. Things got janky this past week. They got heated. One of the heroes found out that her lover has been seduced or betrothed or compelled to be the servant of the vampire Religos. So that'll be an interesting show. If you are in the Los Angeles area, please come see the show. It's cheap. We'd love to have you there live in the audience. It's a great experience. And there's only 2 left, so it's this Saturday and next Saturday. So your opportunities to see me run that show are running out. Other than that, I will be back right here on this very channel tomorrow at 2 o'clock with our illustrious producer and fearless leader, Mr. Dom Zook, everyone. So thanks to him for running the show. We will be talking in Disorganized Play tomorrow at 2 about everything that happened in tonight's game and what we prepped on Tuesday and what played out here tonight. So you can get all the behind-the-scenes insight and action, as well as ask your questions and get DM tips and kind of general role-playing advice direct from my brain pan into your optic nerve and then spooled through whatever processing that you do in order to receive it into your brain pan. So, thanks to everybody who donated tonight, everybody who subbed up, everybody who shared the stream on social media. We definitely appreciate your time, talent, and treasure. Your support is the only thing that keeps the lights on here at Saving Throw Show. So we appreciate all of those. I think September is officially over, right? Isn't that now?
It's at midnight.
Midnight.
It ends at midnight, so you've got 55 minutes left to get in on September. Also, thank you to all of our mods who keep the channel friendly, open, and accessible. We really appreciate you doing the housekeeping for us on that. And we've got a great lineup of shows. Please come see us at TwitchCon if you're not going to tune in for the rest of the week. But we got a bunch of great stuff lined up for the rest of the week. Until next time, let's dungeon!